Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Council of Creators, episode 72. Your host, Chainsaw Reacts. 72 episodes. I know. Why are we still doing this? I don't know either. We have a panel of new people. They've never been on before. This is crazy. We'll see how it goes. It's probably going to be a train wreck. Don't worry about it. First time, Mr. Know-It-All is here. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the show.
What's up, my know-it-alls? Good to see all of you.
Thanks. Chris is here. Chris Herman. Welcome, sir.
Hello, everyone.
Adam Reviews. Now you are muted, sir. Unmute yourself. There you go. What's up, man?
How's it going?
Hey, man. Alan is here. Alan's Movie Talk. What's up, man?
Nice to meet you guys.
And James. Welcome, James.
Thank you, sir. I'm much obliged for the invite.
Of course. We're all here to chat. Okay, let's just be honest. I think the thing I want to talk about the most, because I'm really frustrated, is Netflix. They're raising their prices again. I'm fed up with it. I really am done. But I have to keep it. I have to keep it for screeners. I'm like, it's that irritating thing. Because they have so much stuff, but it's like, hey, you can't get rid of the account. But I hate the fact they're raising prices. Now my wife are going through like, okay, here's all the stuff we're paying for. So now we're going through the whole like, okay, here's what everything we pay for. It's like, but Netflix, man, they need that money. What do you guys think about it? Do you think it's kind of ridiculous, or do you understand because it's the inflation of it all?
I started doing the math. So I used to pay at my height of cable, which I'm showing my age. I used to pay close to $175 for everything I had.
Oh.
I have now eked up and gone to the $119 realm. And I'm like, they don't understand. At some point, they're going to price themselves out of the market. Because here's the thing. I don't know that I have to watch every single thing that's out there. I only watch a handful of stuff anyway. So like Squid Games I watched, but at the same time, I'm waiting really for Stranger Things. I don't really go on for a lot of the older stuff.
That's fair.
That's just my thought.
It's just kind of crazy. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Alan.
I think back in the day, too, when you were paying for cable, it was super expensive, but you were getting pretty much everything that, all the shows that were out there and all the movies.
Right.
So, now it's kind of like, you're paying for 5 or 6 different streaming services that almost equates to that price, and you're not even getting everything that there is out there. So
no, because a lot of stuff that's owned by studios, they're like on like other services, like they're spreading them out. So it's like you got to get everything. It's like we're paying for Paramount like $7.99 a month. We're not watching anything on there.
Nothing
why we have it.
Yeah.
Well, Section 31, I think, is in a couple days. If you're interested in that,
Saw that Tuesday. I saw the. It's like I can't talk about it till midnight, but
no, right?
Yeah.
Just give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Say nothing.
Yeah, we have a friend of ours who he saw it, and he called us personally, me and Salty, the guy I do nerd fights with, and he said he gave me some insight as well. So I want to one day get on the screener list. So I have a couple of friends I have one guy who used to actually be hardcore into stuff, and he still gets them just because they send him stuff. And so he'll once in a while let me get his early screeners and stuff. But man, we'll see.
So with the Netflix price hike, is this directly tied to the fact that they're now doing like wrestling and boxing and adding a lot of live sports to the package?
Oh, yeah.
It has to be at this point, because WWE is like there's so much viewership now, more so because they're live there on every Monday. It changes everything. And isn't there like what is it? Oh God, what is it? It's like the Super Bowl event. I forget what it's called. WrestleMania. That's gonna be on there too, right? They're gonna live stream now. I mean,
so that's not until next year. They're actually still going to be on Peacock for the remainder of the year, and then they're going to renegotiate. Yeah, I'm actually a huge, big WWE guy, so I kind of
right on.
All that a lot.
Okay.
Right on,
I was excited about it because I had Netflix, so I was like, all right, cool. I get Monday Night Raw.
So
how somebody's cable subscription. So
for wrestling fans, how much of a shift is it in the overall model? Like my knowledge of wrestling is basically limited to what I saw on that Mr. McMahon doc on Netflix.
That's a good question.
Now I'm kind of a little curious. Maybe I'll start watching some wrestling. But are wrestling fans psyched? Are they pissed? Or how would you characterize their reaction?
Yeah, I think I think they're happy about it. Only because the time restrictions of cable is basically going to be no more. Which I don't mind, and then they can get a little bit more into the TV PG 13.
That's what I was about to ask. And, are they playing with that at all?
They're not going back to the the Attitude Era or the Depression era, but they are they're definitely on that line more than they were in past years, from 4 or 5 years ago. And I think that's intrigued people, to come back to professional wrestling compared to what it was, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, back in my era when I was little, I mean, you saw blood, like they were not holding back at all. So
yeah, I grew up on the Attitude Era, so it was like nothing will get close to that. That was
the best part of the Mr. McMahon series,
Yeah.
the Attitude Era, because for me, I was basically brand new to most of it. I was like, this would get me into wrestling if this is like what was the status quo.
Yeah,
my next door neighbor got WrestleMania 3, the one where Hogan and everything, and so that from that moment forward up until through the Rock's era, when the Rock left, as in officially like as a regular, that's when I was watching it. Otherwise, I stopped after that.
Yeah, that's a long stretch of time though. That's
it was a long stretch of time.
80s through the 2000s. Yeah,
I remember when John Cena was just John Cena, when he was just a dude in the boxers and the shorts before he had the whole personality.
He was a rapper and everything. Yeah,
he was just a dude. He's the guy they let you. He was the guy they threw at other guys just because.
The jobber. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He just joined in backstage for the first time as well. JMC, welcome, sir. Hello. Can you hear us?
I don't know if you have much more room on the screen. Let's go.
Yeah, well, we can max out the 10. That's the thing.
Yeah, what's going on? Sorry, everybody. I'm super new here. I'm trying to get. I hope you guys can hear me.
Yeah,
you
you're
guys
good.
are all put together.
You're doing good, bro.
You got your
doing
chairs.
good.
You got your mics. I'm like, you guys are this way.
Yeah, flip your camera. It should.
Oh, maybe I should. All right, hold on, y'all. I'm like, give me a second. Nah,
You're good,
It's my first
time.
There
we go. Give me 5. But no, Julian Wilson, super nice to meet you all. I run a little small TikTok page for movie reviews. Enjoy doing it. Enjoy going to the movies. I was trying to join into what you guys are talking about, but I'm gonna be honest, I did not watch no wrestling.
No worries, man.
You and me both.
I get it. It's a niche.
No worries,
man.
I've always
I didn't mean to divulge the conversation to that, so you're good.
No worries.
No, but we're here. I'm excited. I'm pumped. Ready to just chat. What's up with everybody else?
we were actually talking about the whole Netflix thing because they increased their prices. Is kind of what the conversation started, and James made the point. I think it's because of the live streaming, because they're actually getting into that more now. The Jake Paul Tyson, like, that was a disaster because it kept lagging for everybody. But it seems like for wrestling, I don't know, they must have figured it out.
I think
the Jake Paul fight generated huge numbers in spite of all the problems.
Oh yeah. I was live streaming it, and it's like it kept buffering and stuff, and then I was like, and this, I mean, I wonder how people are turning out, but actually there's so many people watch, like over 100 million or something, or it was like 75 million, something like it was insane how many people watch that fight just to watch a guy stand in the middle of the ring and do nothing.
But I bet Netflix is also going to make a play for UFC once whatever contract currently exists with ESPN Plus expires. I think that'll be the next step when it comes to live sports and combat sports and Netflix. And the question then is, if you untrain people from buying pay-per-views, I mean, I bought UFC 311 this past Saturday night and I loved it. But like, once people get used to not paying $80 for a pay-per-view, will they ever be willing to pay for a pay-per-view ever again? And it's a big $1 trillion question.
That's the thing, because like now with the WWE stuff going to like Peacock for like that time, you just paid for Peacock. You didn't pay. You just saw it there. So that's the thing. And I think this is Netflix's play at like getting stuff that isn't movies or tape, because it used to be they had everything, right? They had so many options, but now everyone has a streaming service. They're trying to find how can we still maintain in the streaming world, because we can't just go to Disney. Hey, give us your content. Like, no, we're going to limit that. You're not going to get much. Okay, Warner Brothers, we'll give it to you like a year or two later after it's been on Max. It's like, okay, well then what do? Well, they go after wrestling. They go potentially UFC. They go after maybe something else. Who knows? NASCAR. I'm just throwing out there. Who knows? They could go after stuff that they could technically get the licensing for that isn't from a major studio. So it's another route they have to go.
It's working. Their total subscribers just recently went above 300 million total, which is insane. Like this past year, I think this past quarter was their best quarter of subscriber growth they'd ever had. So I don't watch a ton of Netflix, but you have to recognize that, their stock's at an all-time high. I think it's doubled in the last year. And 300 million monthly subscribers. They put all the other platforms together, they can't compete.
That's shocking, because I'm a Netflix hater.
You're a Netflix hater, all right.
I'm gonna say a hot take. I hate Netflix. I'm gonna be so real with y'all. This is
okay.
I will never discredit Netflix was first. Netflix basically put everybody on. I have so much respect for them. I will always start with that. But there are so much more out there that's so much better. Is this not Netflix grasping for straws? Are they desperate? Does it look desperate to anybody? And no shade to wrestling, no shade. It seems like, I feel like if I was in Netflix position, yes, we started it, we're making all this money, yada yada, but why not just go collab? They want to kick their feet up. They're tired. It was only they were at the top for a minute, just them. It was only at the top. Why not just sell it and then just kind of kick your feet back and join someone else?
I mean, that's fair.
So there's this idea in entertainment, or in anything business really, called jumping the shark, and they're literally at that place where they have innovated at every stage they've been at.
Yeah.
So the president there, that's why he's like, I have no interest in movie theaters. We're trying to shut them down the same way they shut down VHS rental places. I don't think they ever will. There'll always be a place for that. But so their mentality is, well, what's the next evolution? And I feel like for them, it's exploring the streaming thing. Now, this may be a phase, or it may be where they figure it out and then find out where that lives. You guys just got finished talking about pay-per-views and this and the other. Once pay-per-view realizes they have very little left in their model, it may just be that they shift over to this kind of a thing where they're like, hey, all of our stuff from now, anything that would have ever been pay-per-view is now going to Netflix.
Or user-generated content like this show. Like, at what point would someone like Chainsaw Reacts possibly have a tile on Netflix?
Sure.
Please. I'll take it. I'll take your money, Netflix. I don't care. I'll sell out. I don't care.
YouTube just finally matched what terrestrial television has ever done number-wise. People were watching YouTube more than they watched anything terrestrial ever, and that's the first time that's happened. So that's exciting for those of us who are content creators to realize that we're kind of carving out the future of what. I mean, that's the only reason why, honestly, I go through the effort of investing in anything, is because if this is going to be a thing at some point, I want people able to watch this show, so to speak.
Fair point. Mr. Beast, the guy, he has an Amazon Prime show.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's crazy. And I think Markiplier had a show on Amazon Prime. He has a movie coming out. Chris Stuckman has directed a movie.
Yeah.
It's insane how content creators are getting outside and,
sure.
It's insane how much that's working, but I mean, everything's changing.
That's awesome. It is.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Hold on. Look at us. Look at everybody here. Alec got Movie Talk. All you guys. I mean, this is amazing to see the people out there who want to make good stuff. And over time, that's going to start whittling into the better of those clusters and groups. It could be, it could be Nerd Fights that I'm on. It could be Council of Creators that we're talking about right now. And any of those things can be their own thing. And I think that's especially when you look at storytellers. Yeah. My partner Salty, he loves to make stuff. Right now, he's doing music. Other guys I know are working, like you said. Chris Stuckman's doing movies and stuff now. Like, these are full-blown people. Corridor Crew. I subscribe to Corridor because I want the extra crap that we don't get to see on their normal YouTube show. Like the world is ripe for content creators right now.
Yeah, how many hours would y'all say you spend watching stuff like this by content creators versus shows, movies, listening to music, like, professionally produced content versus user-generated content? For me, I'm probably 50-50.
It's a good blend. I mean, I still listen to a lot of music, and I'm starting to watch more movies now because I definitely want to get more into that space and just, because I do love film. I just couldn't find the time. I was too busy just filming all the over the top and just too much. But yeah, I mean, there is a lot of stuff out there. There's like stuff I'm just discovering, like even fan films from people that are just like going out and creating something. Yeah. My God, there's some amazing stuff out there. You just got to find it. And it's like, that is amazing to see that. To see people that are like putting a lot of passion into something, or even original short films, like just seeing that kind of stuff. It's just amazing. Like, you could just find stuff that could replace potentially anything you could watch on TV and movies through YouTube. If you really wanted to, you could find it.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
So much more accessible, than it's been before. There's more and more every day. So. Yeah,
I mean, he's even that shirt he's wearing, Terrifier. That guy came out of nowhere and made a very small budget film, and now look at him.
Yeah.
He's making bank.
I think the third one costs like $3 million to make, and it grossed nearly $100 million. I mean, it was one of the biggest smash, like one of the most successful independent films ever made. Period. And it's fucking blessed.
Yeah. I think even the series.
Give them money.
Take your eyes off. It's gross. It's gross.
I haven't watched the Terrifier films. I could never handle them, but I respect the fact that he came out of nowhere, did like a less than $1 million budget first film with Terrifier, and now he's skyrocketed where he could really do anything he wants.
And he tried to sell out. He tried to sell the idea to other people. Like they kept trying to screw him out of any sort of back end participation or creative control. And so finally, he was forced into going, the do-it-yourself route. And now he's reaping the benefits. And yeah, I'm all in on Damian Leone and can't wait to see what he does next. Whether it's Terrifier 4 or another franchise entirely, but that guy's earned all the success that's come to him.
Yeah,
I think there's still more story left of Terrifier, so we've got to have a 4. There's like more. I'm talking about this trash. There's more to come. Like we need one more story at least.
Yeah. You guys see that? Jeb Whiskers over here on the comments said Milk and Cereal is a. I gotta check that out. Is a.
I saw it. Yeah, it's a very solid horror movie. It skipped theaters. Awesome. It skipped festivals. It just went straight to YouTube.
See.
I need to
never even heard of this.
Milk and what? Milk and honey. What was it called?
Milk and cereal. Not like cereal, but
like
cereal. Oh, cereal. Oh, okay, cereal. Got it.
There's a lot of like really
flakes. Perfect.
There's a lot of really successful like horror shorts on YouTube that get millions of views.
And some of them are scary as fucking shit. I mean, there's some of them that get really under your skin.
That's how David F. Sandberg got his start.
That's right.
With Lights Out. That was originally a short before it became a movie, and then he went on to, make his film The Conjuring universe, the Annabelle creation. Then he did the Shazam films. So
I was about to say and then Milk and Cereal. It's an hour-long found footage horror movie that's on YouTube. Over 1 million views.
That's awesome.
That's great.
You talk about that's a huge one too. Think about it. Imagine being a guy who only goes online reviewing those kind of movies. Just like owning that little niche, and where content creators who are making films are like, oh, bro, let me get you on my stuff. And next thing you know, you become that outlet. And I'm just those are free ideas, by the way. I mean, it's like, why not?
Oh my god! I'm like writing things down.
Totally.
I'll steal that.
What were you trying to say, Adam?
So just on the Netflix thing, I wanted to give like a British take on things because I've only just moved to the other side of the pond. So these price hikes to me from a British society is absolutely crazy because you're talking it's half the price in the UK as it is in the US. But when you're talking about pay-per-view, $80, if you went out to the British people and asked them to pay $80 for any pay-per-view, you'd get no one signing up for it. So you're talking the biggest fights in the world. So like Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, 1, 2, and 3, they would, with the conversion rate, would probably have been about $30. And that's max. So if these price rises make their way to the UK, I would see subscribers, particularly there, drastically falling because the WWE fans here, there's definitely some of them, but given the time of day that it's on, things like that, Netflix isn't going to get masses of subscribers just to watch that from Europe because it's big, but people watch it on repeat. There's only the diehards that will stay up till 4 a.m. to catch it. So I can see, judging off American consumerism, you guys will obviously know a lot more than me, but if people are willing to pay $80, then a price rise, they're going to be willing to suck it up if there's WWE on Netflix. So whilst it's astronomical in terms of percentage wise over the past few years, as James said, subscribers are going up, so you're going to keep pushing it until they hit the wall, and then they'll know that's when we stop. And I don't think it will stop until we reach that stage.
Every time there's a price hike, there's always that thing, boycott. It never happens. It never happens.
It never does. Never does.
No, the people that show their screen, look, I'm unsubscribing. They actually canceled it. They actually did.
He's like,
unsubscribing until a show.
Or they just resubscribed right then and there. And didn't.
For their
they let the billing cycle play through. They're like, all right, never mind.
Yeah, it didn't really, guys. No.
Yeah,
I canceled the reoccurring.
But like price things and stuff. First things first, Adam. I didn't know you were British. You started speaking. I was like, what? My mind like blew. I was like, what?
Okay, hold on. I gotta know what voice did you give
North
him?
Carolina. I'm like, this kid's running. I'm like, what? Crazy.
Yeah. What voice did you? What voice did you expect from him? That's the question.
I'm from North Carolina, so I guess they consider it the South. I would have thought you sounded like somebody that like I went to high school with, like just a regular, like I'm a regular American.
I lived in Greensboro for 19 years. Shout out to North Carolina.
Like very South. Honestly, shout out to Fayetteville, North Carolina. Shout out to Fayetteville.
You're in Fayetteville? Very cool.
Yes, sir. From Fayetteville,
I was
North
about
Carolina.
40 minutes from you for like most of my life. Yeah.
Come back. Everybody come to Fayetteville.
I was there on Christmas. I was there.
I know y'all pull up. We'll go to the movies. But second, I'd say with the things of price, I don't know if you guys probably talked about it before. Did they say how much Netflix was going to go up if it was streaming and
like $2 or something for every tier? It's going up $2. I think
$25 for regular tier.
Yeah, but standard is going to be $7.99, ad free $17.99, premium $24.99.
Okay, that makes sense because we're paying 15 something right now, so the $17.99, yeah, that's what we're gonna get.
Yeah,
that's correct.
But is that with like, I don't know, weren't we saying at one point like they were gonna try to move towards like almost a YouTube TV style? Did I make that up? Are they doing like things like that?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Channel, like, oh my gosh, Max is doing that right now.
Yeah, Max is doing it.
And you know what's funny?
And Disney Plus did it too. Disney Plus,
which is, and the price that we pay, I don't know who has YouTube TV. I do. The price that we pay, I already thought 76 was crazy, and then or 78, and now we're in the 80s. At what point are we going to get? We're going up. At what Hulu Live? Crazy. At what point is it going to just make more sense to just get cable? I love cable. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I love it.
Yeah.
So at what point does it make sense to just go back to cable, go back to Spectrum, go back to DirecTV, things like that?
I have Spectrum Internet, and they were trying to sell me on some.
Same.
When I got Spectrum Internet over here, they tried to sell me on that. I think there was like a deal back when I was in North Carolina before I moved that we just cut down because I was reacting to CW stuff and I was holding out till the Flash show was done. So I was paying for like
really?
Yeah.
You're that guy?
Dedicated. I was like dedication.
I
wish I had a medal. Dedication.
I think he lagged out. Hopefully he'll come back. But so I stopped. I didn't want to keep paying for all these channels I wasn't using. So Spectrum offered a thing where you could pick like 10 channels, then you get a bunch of free stuff for like $20. And I did that. I picked a couple of options, and I was like, I have to have the CW. And then And then when the Flash was done, I'm like, well, I know Superman and Lois is going to come back for 4th season, which it did. I just cut. I'm like, I'm done. I'll just watch the show the next day. But I was waiting until the Flash was done. And then next day canceled it. They're like, "Were you sure?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm done."
Like, even the guys trying to kill you half-hearted. Are you sure? Like,
they're like, please. And both about Spectrum, the grasp at straws. They're like, "We'll give you $10 off." Like, please.
Well, I was already paying like next to nothing compared to what I was before. This is a fair point, I think, in terms of Netflix is the original series. Like, yeah, there are some great Netflix original shows. But they're so far and few between. There's a lot of stuff that comes out, and a lot of it's okay. But is it worth, paying this amount of money per month for a lot of stuff that is like, okay? Because you're really paying for the catalog. That's what you're really paying for.
That keeps getting smaller. For a lot of stuff that you like. I feel like Netflix has a quality control problem for a very long time. Not to say that they don't make good movies, every year or TV shows, but a lot of it gets buried in because
they release too much stuff.
And it's just like so for like a movie that apparently everyone's like loving from like last, like Hitman was like on everyone's best of list, but I didn't end up watching it last year just because I thought this is another whatever straight to Netflix movie whatever, so I skipped it. And so I feel like that's just a huge issue. They're producing so much content despite them allegedly being hugely in debt, which I don't know if that's true or not.
They are still massively in debt.
I thought so.
Flick, they had that great action flick last year as well.
Rebel Ridge, which I did eventually see, but then after a while
broke. Like their MC Hammer broke.
Yeah. It's just because they just produce such a glut of content.
Right.
I just kind of get overwhelmed, and sometimes I just miss a lot of stuff. And it's like I don't really need this. I don't really need this. There's so many sources outside of streaming services. I'll tell you right now, it is so easy to watch new episodes of whatever new shows out by not going to the typical streaming services. It's become far easier than just
that's
pirating
also
and touring it right now.
That's also the problem too. Like there's so many ways to watch stuff illegally.
Yeah,
because it's all available, and that's the problem that Disney was having when they were doing that. Well, even Max too, because they were putting out same day as release and everything. Or like you had like Black Widow, you had all these like Raya and the Last Dragon. You had these movies immediately. Dune Part 1 immediately HD for free if you wanted to. It's crazy.
What percentage do you think piracy accounts for like total viewership if you were to make an estimate?
Probably I would say 30, 40, maybe even half. There's so many people that do it.
I remember with Game of Thrones at its peak, it was being apparently stolen by like 100 million people around the world compared to like the 15 or 20 million people paying for it on HBO. Yeah. But obviously that was a once in a generation phenomenon.
I had someone hijack my internet to watch. So I get a letter. I get a cease and desist letter from at the time Comcast. And I had to send them. I'm like, you guys know you sell me HBO. Like I'm watching it. What are you talking about? And then I changed my password and found out somebody was borrowing it. But still, to do that, to pirate. So it's like, bro, I mean, it's a thing.
Back when I was in high school, my mom had the Wi-Fi and everything, didn't have a password on it. This was back in the day. So, but there was a couple that lived right above us in the trailer park we were in, and they were literally using we didn't know our Wi-Fi, downloading illegal shit. And then they sent us like letters, like the stream, like the service, like say, hey, you're stealing stuff. It's like, no, we're not. So we finally had to put a password in, and we didn't know how to do it. So that was a little trick. Like, because now
they slip a note on your door. Can you tell us what your password is?
Yeah, that's the thing. So when we did that, then we started getting dirty looks from the neighbors.
Oh wow!
Because we put a password like. Because we were being accused of stealing stuff. Like, no, because all we were doing was, and this was back in the day where the Wi-Fi wasn't great. So, but they were somehow still downloading stuff. I don't know how they were doing it. I would take the modem when my mom wasn't using a computer and plug it into my Xbox 360 to use it, just to go on game. And so that was that era where it wasn't like it is today, where it's so seamless. Like my modem and router is completely downstairs. I'm completely fine up here.
Yeah,
things have changed so fast. With internet and stuff, it's just. But then again, it's easier to steal shit. Gotta be careful.
Now, do you consider giving your passwords out, stealing?
I hate you so much. You consider giving your passwords out because it's so. My mom.
When I grew up, my uncle was like the bootleg movie king. I ain't gonna name him.
Yes,
he was the bootleg.
We all had that uncle.
So,
I did
too. Bootleg all the time.
We all had that guy.
Like, free it all. Eat the rich. Everybody eat the rich. Everybody gets it free. But I don't do those now. But I will give my passwords out to my friends, but we'll kind of exchange passwords. I think that's why I don't like Netflix, because I do not like that you can't share. Why not?
And Disney's doing the same thing too. They're cracking down on that.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. Why not?
So YouTube TV, when I went to visit my mother-in-law this Christmas, YouTube TV goes, are you traveling? Can you verify your location? And I'm like, yes, I'm traveling right now.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick in your comment section, there's a quote from Google from Salty Plus.
In 2020, 11% of U.S. adults, or about 23 million people, admitted to pirating TV, movie, and live sports as likely as because they're not going to admit it. I mean,
who's walking around saying, "Hey, I do this"?
Hey.
Yeah, like
but
so.
Still, that's the ones who admitted it. So you're right. It's probably way.
When my dad's dads, my grandfather on that side, I have old VHS tapes. Like a lot of them, where he freaking recorded old Godzilla movies, and that was amazing. It was, that was a game
have
changer.
like entire libraries of those cassettes that could contain hours with the little handwritten titles on the side, and like, whoa! But back in the 1980s, a lot of people went that route.
And there's a report now where they're saying that you need to like start transferring your VHS tapes because you're going to lose, like they're going to biodegrade over time, and so you need to like transfer.
Whatever.
Yeah,
I've got a few cassettes left in a working VCR, but I haven't plugged it in a good long while.
Right on.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I for a while I collected like Blu-rays and stuff, but like I don't know. Just now,
I was going out, man.
It's going away.
I still have, I've been buying DVDs. If I see them somewhere, it's a movie.
I've been thinking about it too. Where do I even buy a DVD player?
That's the thing. So we had I have an Xbox One plugged in, but like my wife was looking at like like one of those off-brand DVD Blu-ray players for like $30, and she's like, "Nah." I'm like, "We got the Xbox One plugged in. That's fine. We'll just
you just get the Blu-ray software." I still buy Blu-rays because a lot of movies will get censored even though you own them, or they can be taken away from you after you bought them digitally. So I have a Blu-ray collection. It's not a big collection, but I probably buy 1 or 2 Blu-rays a month, just movies that I know, like, all right, I know nobody can take it out of my hands if I've got it on the shelf.
Yeah, it's yours, and they can't take it away. But they're taking away how you can play them. That's the problem.
I've got a PS5 and an Xbox X/S. So
I got a PS5. But as you saw, the PS5 Pro got announced a little while ago, and they're like, if you want to buy a disc drive, it's a separate purchase.
I did not know that. That's a screw job.
Oh yeah, that is. Yeah, it's like, okay, here's PS5 Pro. It's not really much difference in terms of quality because you don't see the difference really. Yep. You want to buy a disc drive, you got to pay separate. Hey, you know that stand that came with the PS5? Yeah, the stand for the PS5. You got to pay for that separate too. So you're going to pay about over.
What it would come with? The controllers. You got you got a couple of games.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
not now.
Now
you're gonna pay close to $900 plus, with taxes included for all those things. If you want all those things to your PS5 Pro.
My first Nintendo came with like a gun and like the gyromite robot.
Together, eat the rich.
Yeah, like I remember getting the Nintendo 64 was my first console back in the day, and Mario Kart 64, and that was like, I don't know what the price was. Yeah, man, it was good. It was fun. Back when games were like $60, $70, $80.
I'm old enough. I had a ColecoVision in the early 80s, and my neighbor had an Intellivision, and those were our first 2 consoles.
Wow.
Show of hands. Who
I don't even know what that is.
Games at all? Who actively games at all? Show of hands.
Okay. Constantly.
Here's my problem.
I only like Grand Theft Auto.
Years ago, I said, you know what? I'm gonna try gaming this and that. I bought the newest system. Guess what that was? It was the Dreamcast. No. I was like, that's it. I'm on this train, and then the next day it disappeared, and I was like, I'm done. You know what? I can't keep up. I'm done.
There's a couple of good games on it.
No, I know. But
that's a few.
The next day, I was like, you suck, man.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah, and classic games for me are like classic movies. They're great forever, and so you find the good games you can play. I mean, I'm still playing Baldur's Gate 3, and that thing came out a couple of years ago. But every once in a while, I'll dip back into like Resident Evil 4 or whatever the case might be. I mean, there's so many good ones out there.
And nowadays, you can literally go on and get a ROM on your computer and just play the games on your computer. Emulators, just do that. Which is what I had to do because I'm in through the franchise of Ben 10, and there's some games and I played them. The only way I could play them is if I got the emulator on my computer.
I played some Super Nintendo games on an emulator recently, like Shadowrun, because I just wanted to take a sentimental journey through the early 90s.
Both the comments right here.
Skies of Arcadia.
I had Skies of Arcadia, and then Salty's dead right. I absolutely had Space Channel 5. Anyways, can we talk about some things? Can we talk about anything else other than how old I am?
Sonic 4. Let's talk. Who here has seen the Sonic films? Anybody?
I have. I've seen the trilogy. I think they get better with each one.
I'm not.
Oh, don't they?
I haven't seen 3 yet.
Sonic 3 is very good. I think it's the best. They're finally confident enough to really lean into the fact, like, we don't have to have all the human characters aside from Jim Carrey because you need him, and they actually multiplied.
Yeah.
But
so I haven't seen the movie yet, but I was gonna say I haven't seen the movie yet, but I have seen the Jim Carrey dancing scene. On repeat on my TikTok feed the whole time. It is, and every time I see it, I can't help but laugh. So
it is so unnecessary, but it is amazing. It is so it doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't make any logical sense why the hell they're doing this. When you see the context of what's going on, you're like, why are we doing a dance off? But it's fine. It's because it's amazing. It's Jim Carrey dancing with Jim Carrey. Yeah.
It's classic 90s rubber face Jim Carrey again.
Yeah.
And he's still got it, even though he's in his 60s at this point, which is amazing. But I was just gonna say, it's just they just feel confident enough where, okay, we can just kind of focus on the Sonic characters like Team Sonic and Shadow, who was great in the movie, and how they handled him and voiced wonderfully by Keanu Reeves.
Fantastic.
It's a really fun film.
The voice cast alone has me stunned because I'm like, and at first everybody was like, why aren't you bringing the voice of Sonic we all knew as a kid? Because right on the heels of Transformers getting Peter Cullen, they were like, we should always use the original voice actors. I thought they've done amazing. Those
Yeah,
characters
fantastic.
sound so. Idris Elba sounds amazing.
Well,
and,
on the Sega Genesis, he didn't talk at all, so they can.
That's
do it.
true.
He didn't talk.
Yeah.
He's had a kick-ass soundtrack.
And the fact that Idris voices Knuckles with the gloves,
I love that.
like that's the best thing.
When I saw that video, it was so good.
Has
course
to get in
he
the
does.
character.
It's amazing. And it's funny, Idris told me, like, I was trying to find the voice. I'm like, oh, you mean your voice? It's just a little, it's just slightly, you're just doing a different accent with your voice,
no
but
different.
it's you.
Yeah.
You know the way.
Yeah. Do you know the way?
You know the way.
Do you know the way? I know the way.
Is Sonic Paramount's biggest successful franchise now? Because I saw the third one is outgrossed its two predecessors, and obviously Paramount's got a shortage of good franchises right now. But is that their big breadwinner right now in
It's
2025?
Mission Impossible.
Mission, gotcha. Oh, yeah,
But
there
didn't
we go.
like I'm not.
It was Transformers. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they don't have to do
Box
that.
office. I'm box office. I'm not saying quality.
Yeah. I love
Now-
Transformers 1, by the way. Transformers 1, it was
Yeah,
criminally
and
underrated,
two.
amazing film.
And two,
It's-
1 and 2 were the two. Oh,
Revenge.
No,
Which one? Revenge of the Fallen? Oh, I disagree
Yeah.
there, sir.
That's
Yeah.
Teach their own. That's
To each
fine.
their own.
It's
Well,
fine.
I think
I
think
wanna-
Sonic's the most consistent
talk
right
about
now.
it.
It's the one
Yes,
that seems to be performing well each time and better each time. And like the fans are liking, the critics are liking even more, and even general audiences. So I'm trying to think of like any other. I guess Mission Impossible, sure, but even then, like the last one lost money. So and this one
Yeah.
even has a bigger budget. I feel like that franchise is out it's going to be gone by this last one because I don't think it's going to make money. I don't think it's going
Well,
to.
I think we also forgot what happened. Like every time I see the trailer, I was like, "Wait, what happened the last movie? It took too long for us to get this. Way too."
I remember him
Yeah.
jumping off a cliff.
And then he
That
found
was-
the necklace.
and that was marketed
Yeah.
way before the movie came out.
Yeah.
Trains.
He
Yeah.
found the necklace. I'm like,
Yeah, I forgot
right,
about that thing. Yeah, the
right,
submarine, right? Yeah. That's
Right.
And
Yeah.
Rebecca Ferguson, sadly, spoiler alert.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's great in the franchise.
But
They did
but
whack
he
him.
traded up.
Whack.
He traded up to the
Haley
wonderful.
Atwell?
Yes,
Yeah,
who I
yeah,
think
he's hot,
she's
yeah.
a treasure.
I do like Haley Atwell.
She's an
good.
absolute treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Transformers
So,
1, I agree. Transformers 1, if you've not seen that movie, you have to
Great
go
movie.
see that movie.
100%. The
Yeah.
marketing
Fantastic.
did a
I'm like,
disservice
dude,
to
they're
that
right
film.
about the marketing.
I finally
Because
watched it
didn't.
because one night I was bored and had nothing. That thing was amazing, and it was not a kid.
No.
Obviously, it's animated, but this was a serious Transformers story that was amazing.
100%.
I
I was blown away.
I
And I
was
was like,
asleep.
my God, the marketing did a disservice for this movie,
Oh, yeah.
and people are missing out. It sucks.
Yeah.
But it was so good. I got that movie was, and the fact that we're not going to get any more because it lost
Sadly.
money. Sucks.
It's so
I think
sad.
Chris hit the nail on the head with Sonic, though, particularly with franchises. The fact that it's doing a service to the fans, a lot of franchises just don't do. Because for me personally, Sonic isn't really my type of thing.
Sure, me too.
I enjoyed Sonic 3 for what it was, but I know it's not aimed at me. But everyone else that was leaving the theater that I was at, I was at the fan event, the first fan event thing that I've been to in the States. So everyone was all dressed up. They were absolutely beaming from ear to ear. So if you've got the fans of the franchise walking out like that, hey, you're gonna be successful in the long run. And
They earned a ton of
you're gonna get
goodwill
those
when they
people
made
going.
the change to the character after the initial reaction to the first trailer to the first
Ugly,
movie.
ugly Sonic.
Terrible.
But most
Yeah,
franchises
so
say, "Oh, well, the fans are horrible. We're gonna do whatever we want." The Sonic producers like, "Oh, let's pause, regroup, change the design," and the fans seem to have responded. So yeah, Adam, 100% agree. I'm not a fan of the Sonic movies, but yeah, the fan base seems to be very loyal and
It was
feels
a
looked
jump
after.
scare.
I feel like we should have got this in the movie, honestly, though.
He got redeemed in Rescue Rangers, though. It was great.
That honestly
that was a
yeah.
huge surprise. I was like, oh my
That was
God,
so
he's
funny.
back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great movie, by the way. People should check that out.
Oh, here's some other great designs they could have used for Ugly Sonic or Sonic in general. There you go.
Oh my god, I'm done.
AI Sonic.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how many franchises will take something that works in a game or works in a comic or works in a book or whatever and say, well, we're going to go in a completely different direction. And I get it. Everybody wants to express themselves, share their creativity. But if you're making these movies for $200 million, $300 million, maybe just trust what drew you to it in the first place. In this case, Sonic, classic design from the early 90s. And that's the way it's supposed to look.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking here. So it's made, the first one made 319 million, second one made 405, and the third one's that made 422. It's made over $1 billion total worldwide.
Whew.
So, and I think the rumors now they're doing a fourth one. Obviously, we know that's confirmed, but there's a rumor they're going to do some spinoffs. Which honestly, I feel like they're going to do a Shadow spinoff. 100%. I feel like they have to. But I don't know.
Did anybody see that? Did anybody watch the Knuckles series?
I missed that.
No.
So did I. And it was really Idris Elba. Like it was real. But
yeah.
I don't know, I missed it also.
What people are saying is like it's okay, but there's not a lot of Knuckles on the Knuckles show.
Because they didn't have the budget. That's expensive. The CGI character is expensive. Just ask She-Hulk.
I think it's focused on that character Wade. Who shows up in the newest movie? He had a funny bit and everything, but people want to watch a Knuckles show for him.
I think people were like done with Wade because he's like a character you just take in bits.
Yeah, he's a cameo character.
Yeah, he's not a character that you do a whole show around, which is what he was. Because he was actually, I guess there's like a whole episode he's not in at all, like Knuckles. It's like, okay, why are you calling the show Knuckles? Call it Knuckles and Wade or something. Like just make it point. Like, okay, it's not just Knuckles show, but they're like, well, the marketing is going to say Knuckles, but I don't know. Well, then again, Ted, that show was hugely successful, and it had a CGI bear the entire time. So
it was pretty good.
I haven't seen it. I heard it.
I liked it. I was very surprised by it.
I think it's a coin toss, and it's like really rare if the movie turned TV show actually works, because I don't think all the time it's not necessary. And then you're like, man, this was only good for a movie, or we were tired of this. Like it didn't back then. I think it worked. Like, this is niche. The Penguins of Madagascar. They did the whatever Madagascar movie, then they did the Penguins, and they did the TV, and that worked for what it was. But now when they do things like that, like I don't think it works. I just think it's very, very rare if it works.
I totally agree. But the one exception would be, speaking of Penguins, the Penguin on Max.
Penguin,
absolutely. I like
it better than the Batman, honestly. Yeah.
But otherwise, I totally agree. Most TV spinoffs from movies suck ass, but that's
they always.
I think the exception why that one works is because the Batman is so grounded that the Penguin show didn't have to like do a lot of changes to make it work. Like say that Mutant Mayhem, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that had that certain art style, they did a show that's in a different art style entirely because they couldn't do that for a show budget
and replicate it. Right.
So that's the problem there. But I don't know about the quality of the show, but I think the Penguin just worked because they didn't have to put a lot of money into it. It's a very simple show, right? It's like there's no like crazy CGI. Yeah, there's no like real crazy CGI effects. It's just
the city. I mean, they had to come up with the city. They had to use it, which I understand. They just kind of used the same sets and areas they had.
Makes sense.
For the Batman.
Yeah. And then all you have to do is just pay Colin Farrell and pay those makeup artists a lot of money because they're doing a lot of work. Because I still remember seeing him in that trailer for the Batman and going, who's that guy? And where's Colin Farrell? Because I didn't know that. Nope, people didn't know at the time. Like, who is it? Like, who's that guy? I'm thinking, oh, it's some random mob guy. And they're like, oh, okay. And then where's Colin Farrell? Well, I will see him later. No, that was him. Yeah, you wouldn't.
Sweetheart.
Okay, don't show me that. Hey, come on, look, open your eyes. I love that scene so much. Or like the Batman part where he's like, holds up the thumb drive.
Oh, I love that. That was a good moment.
Yeah, that movie's so good.
It is actually really good. Everyone's like, they didn't know we could go more grounded and still somehow be faithful, and they kind of did. So I was like, right on.
The thing that I loved about the movie is that they finally gave us a live-action detective Batman. It's like, this feels like a darker version of Batman the Animated Series, which for me has always been my favorite adaptation of Batman of all time. I love what they did. And it's like, they finally did that. And they leaned into that. And plus, he's a weirdo. Like, he feels psychotic.
Because he is.
Police station interacting with the cops. I was like, they're finally capturing just how insane it is. This guy's walking around the town in a suit.
And great. I keep thinking on that scene because obviously when they showed the clip of it, it was out of context and they cut lines out. But it's the whole line of like they're like pretending to be arguing and stuff, like him and Jim, and the cops are all standing outside. He's like he was the guy at the Iceberg Lounge. It's like you're saying he's moonlighting as a criminal. It's like I think he's a criminal moonlighting as a cop, and then bam, deck in the face. I'm like, I love the dialogue
Mhm.
I just love everything. And I love, you were saying the whole detective aspect. I just love it. The opening 5-10 minutes.
Oh.
They're just showing like dark areas people are looking into, thinking, is he there?
Is he there? Yeah.
I love that. It was
That was so good.
fantastic. And then when he actually finally walks out, I was scared for those guys.
But he noticed he just
The boots hitting the ground. It was
yeah.
You hear the boots.
There was none of that
Slow walk.
Batman
Yep.
finesse
Yeah,
that we're
it's
used
like
to
doing-
later.
Mhm.
It was very raw.
So
I
I
love
get
it.
giddy every time I watch it.
Yeah.
2027?
5 years from now? Yeah.
Yeah, 5 years. They keep delaying it.
That's the thing. Wait too
sucks.
long.
It
Yeah.
such.
We wait
At this
too
point,
long
we can
and
get
it
a
comes
Penguin
out.
season 2 out before this movie comes out. At
But
this
they
point.
can't because apparently
Exactly.
the Penguins they are going to do one. It's just going to
But
come
after Batman 2,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Over
But
under, we get Mr. Freeze somehow realized
in part 2, or like at least somewhere in the movie.
in the Batman Part 2. How what do you think?
I wouldn't
say
be
it.
against it. It's just you have established, unless they have him where he is a part of James Gunn's DC. That's a whole nother conversation.
don't
I
think
just want to
so.
know how you're going to make
Stop
that
that.
very fantastical
Stop
villain so grounded. You know, I'm not against that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'd love to see like the
That-
the
yeah, that's
Animated
like
Series
people
take on
saying-
Mr. Freeze.
That's like people saying, "Oh, they should bring in Clayface."
How?
But
Yeah,
And the
That's
early-
literally at that point you're literally a
Yeah.
monster.
It'd be fantasy
creature
then.
feature.
But in the
Yeah.
early
Yeah.
2000s, there was a killer comic. I think it was just called Gotham Central, but Ed
I love that
Brubaker and
comic.
Greg
Thank
Rucka
you.
wrote it.
Yes.
Oh.
And they did a grounded version of Mr. Freeze. He still looked like Mr. Freeze, and he still killed people by freezing them, but they still made it feel like a gritty cop show. You can do it.
Mhm.
You just gotta tread that line very carefully.
Well,
You got
I
to
think-
walk that tightrope.
Well, I think of like the Gotham show. It was grounded in a sense. There was some fantastical stuff in a sense, but that version of Mr. Freeze, yeah, he had like an over the top weapon of like a cold gun, but I think you could make it work. I think, right? Like,
Well, remember, nitrogen
some sort of
is-
scientific
kinda
way.
does that.
Yeah,
you
like
can find you, it's going to kill people, of course.
It could fuse with something he makes because, or maybe he teams up with somebody that makes the stuff that can freeze that way, and he puts it into a weapon that he builds or something. There's ways they can find the science around it. But I mean, still, because the whole idea, like, oh, Gotham's going to be flooding because of what happened in the first film,
Mhm.
that could tie into Mr. Freeze. People are saying, "Oh, Killer Croc." No.
He's got a skin condition.
He's like, "Hey, Batman,
I'm
I'm
really-
Killer Croc." He just scratches. He's like, "Ugh, "Hey, guy, hey, man." It's like, what the fuck? Well, then they tease Joker too. It's like, no, we don't need Joker.
So, what are y'all's predictions? Will
I
Matt
didn't like
Reeves and
that,
James
yeah.
Gunn play nicely together? Are they going to be at war? Are they going to have separate fiefdoms?
Separate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or it's going to
I
be a
think
fight
it'll work
if
better
they
that
try.
way. if
Because
it's
remember,
separate.
James
Yeah.
Gunn wants Elseworlds. He wants it to be a thing.
Yeah.
And right now, that's the standard. Matt Reeves has set up that standard at the moment.
Harley Quinn, the show Harley Quinn is an Elseworlds story that's not connected to anything they're doing.
You know what, the animated one?
Yep, that's separate entirely. That whole show, obviously, he cameoed in it, so it's obvious. Like, it's not connected at all to what they're doing, unless watch the meta like reference the DCU in that show at some point, which would be funny.
Yeah.
But if you look at like say like Creature Commandos, I mean, I don't know who all watched the show here.
I saw
I
the
did.
first 3 episodes.
Yeah, I think everyone's heard about what was in the finale, the final episode, in terms of what was shown. That is clearly not the same Batman.
Oh, sure.
No,
this
it's not.
is-
Well,
too big.
it's people I think are making a big deal. Batman shows up in the show like for a brief minute, like
A silhouette.
cameo
It's a
appearance.
silhouette.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
it's him, but it's like people are saying like, and he's gonna look exactly like that. I'm just like it's just saying that Batman's in this universe, because it's
Yeah.
it's been around for a while. I think
It's
people
Alan
are really
Richardson.
into
It's
it.
Reacher. Yeah.
But can normies handle Elseworlds? Like DC fans, they love Elseworlds, and like diehard superhero fans love Elseworlds. But if you're just Joe Schmo taking his family to the movies, is there room in the movie landscape for a James Gunn Batman and a Matt Reeves Batman theatrically at the same time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My
If
answer,
they're good.
my answer is Joker. Now,
Yeah.
Joker fully ado aside, look, but
Not
that
that one.
original movie,
That's
the
original.
and however you may
not
feel
that
about
original.
it,
Yeah.
however you may feel about
Yeah,
that
that's-
movie,
yeah.
it was a huge commercial. It made $1 billion.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it was made on the cheap. So, I mean, I
And that was
think
coming off Jared
Marvel
Leto.
should do this. I think
Yeah.
DC should do this. Like, you can have a mainline universe, but if you want to get experimental, if you want to, not just give people the same thing all the time, but have a reasonable budget for it, like the Clayface standalone movie that they're doing. It's going to make a body horror film. I think it's a really smart decision to do that.
Super
Written by
smart,
Mike
very
Flanagan.
smart.
Get these very creative and talented people in there to do these, one-offs while you do your mainline universe. Because then you keep the genre healthy by doing that. The subgenre of the superhero film. That's how you're going to combat fatigue.
And they're going to have Alan Tudyk play him, and Alan Tudyk is amazing. Amazing.
Is that confirmed? Is
in the DCU, but I think I think this is a separate thing.
But no one will ever top the Batman animated series episode of Clayface where he was introduced. That was one of my favorite.
Oh, brilliant!
Animated series back in the day. They nailed it.
Yeah, great.
Your point about Elseworld stuff. Look what happened with Marvel all these years. They had the MCU starting out. You had 2 Amazing Spider-Man films. Then you had Sony putting out a bunch of villain films over these last number of years. And then you had Fox at one point putting out other X-Men films that were not connected. And then you also had the Fantastic Four, Fan Four Stick. So it shows, hey, I mean, I'm not saying these are successful, but it shows, hey, they were doing other stuff within Marvel, obviously different studios, but it's whatever. Like, people understood, at least to an extent. But I mean, there's people that probably go out and see movies. Yeah, and people just don't. A lot of people don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of people that don't know Marvel and DC are different things. I'm like,
I know.
All right,
you gotta remember that we're in a bubble. We are in a bubble.
It's our bubble.
We have this misconception that all of us who keep up with movie shit and TV stuff, that everyone else does. I know people that I went to high school with that repost on Facebook AI fake posters for movies that do not exist. And they're like, oh, I can't wait for this because someone reposted that Polar Express 2. There's like Polar Express 2 with Tom Hanks. And like, I can't wait for this. And I responded, this is not real. Please do your research. They deleted the post.
And the animation looks the same though, I bet.
And like I love how that Alvin the Chipmunk movie, they addressed that. Like, he has that like Polar Express look.
Yeah. Rescue Rangers,
Rescue, like the Polar Express look. Is it what? God, I love but I think it'll be fine. I think now, if there is because Steven's like, okay, they're doing Peacemaker season 2, and Peacemaker season 1 was connected to the DCEU and had that connection with Jason Momoa's Aquaman. That's where I think the confusion really comes in.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's like, James, okay, you're running this universe, you're bringing over everything you worked on. You shouldn't do that because now you're adding more confusion. It'll make sense when you watch Peacemaker season 2. No, it won't.
Yeah.
Because unless he goes through a portal and he's in a universe that is separate, unless he goes through a portal, you can't explain away that Jason Momoa, who's now Lobo in your universe, was Aquaman in the previous season.
The thing is he wasn't. Because James Gunn's very clearly said the only thing that's good, Peacemaker season 1, anything having to do with the Justice League is like a fever dream. He's like, otherwise the main events happen. Because the only reason the Justice League showed up was for him to tell them to F off. Other than that, they're not really there.
I understand, but at the same time, you see that and you're a fan and you're not really paying attention.
And also,
to shit.
Lobo's not going to look like Jason Momoa, and that he's got a white skin.
But he'll probably talk the same.
Face.
My man.
No, because Lobo in the comics.
My girl.
My girl.
Lobo's not a surfer. That was dialogue written for him by Joss Whedon in order to make him sound more like a surfer.
But that accent,
he
will probably fall back on that old way of expressing himself.
I bet Jason Momoa is going to go for a more grittier voice.
Hopefully.
Yeah, like that's the hope, or at least more.
I don't know much range yet. I mean, whether he's Duncan Idaho or Aquaman or in Minecraft, Jason Momoa
where he started in Stargate Atlantis.
Yeah,
Conan. Yeah, he's Conan. Then
you just said, I can't believe you just said Minecraft. Oh God.
I feel like for me,
what is happening in the mind? What is happening with that Minecraft movie? It looks like the worst thing.
It's coming.
We're seeing
I want to know what
ChatGPT
algorithm told them this was the way to go.
They're making it like 10 years or something too late at this point.
Yeah,
that Minecraft movie.
Way too late.
I mean, I don't get it. I'm not excited for Minecraft, honestly. I'm not. I'll probably see it, but I don't want to.
See to review it.
Like, will it be like Cat's Bad, where we can all have fun and generate videos?
Wow.
Just
or it'd be ideal because it'd be great for us.
Cats was a fever dream.
Yeah,
that was a fever dream.
That was so rough.
Never made that.
I've got a movie that fits perfectly in that category that I watched today. Flight Risk. Just you wait.
Wait, Flight Risk.
No way.
Yeah.
It was
So,
bad.
I'm
going to see it
UK.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, so
No
I'm
way.
back
It
in the
was
UK
bad.
for the minute,
No way.
and I attended the UK premiere multimedia screening this evening. Can't review it because I had to sign an NDA, which the review embargo
That's a
only
great
left
sign.
at 2 p.m. EST.
But is it like fun terrible or is it like soul sucking terrible?
So for me personally, soul sucking terrible.
Oh.
But
You heard it here first. Breaking news.
But
Yeah, I know. We kinda got the inside scoop.
everyone will laugh for sure. I was laughing because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Other people are laughing because it's bad funny. So
Now, I saw your post. I saw your post. You were like there, and you said had to sign an NDA. You know this must be good. And I'm thinking, I don't know.
oh no,
if
I
he's
said you know what this is going to be because the last time I had to sign an NDA was Borderlands.
Oh,
Oh.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
And that was also Lionsgate, right? That also
Totally.
distributed. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, they've been on a cold streak. They did The Crow, they did Borderlands. Yeah, Lionsgate.
What is going on?
Yeah.
They're making they're making so many bad decisions. That's the
I know.
problem.
They
Did they
owe
hire
somebody
somebody
in
from
Hollywood
Sony? Like, what's happening?
I thought there was a story out there that Lionsgate was using Chat GPT or using some sort of AI program to help them with like making movies or some shit, or like just like figuring out
Fire the
ideas.
development execs and use AI to make.
There you go. On LinkedIn, I actually saw it on LinkedIn. They were hiring an AI prompt engineer to help develop concepts and ideas. And they swore in the post it is not writing, it is helping. And I'm like,
Sure.
no, man.
So someone put that line down. Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, my God, guys.
Yeah, it's rough. They're having a rough time over
I
there.
haven't even heard of Flight Risk until you brought it. I didn't even know what that. I was like, okay,
The big
Yeah,
release.
Mark's copying my
Wahlberg.
haircut.
I only
and
saw
Yeah.
it because
Marky Mark.
I only found out about it because of the Mel Gibson promo they have running. Have you seen
Oh.
where he's like a director and it's supposed like it was the weirdest piece of marketing and I was like, wait, what is this? And I had to look it up to find out. Very strange. Very
I didn't-
strange.
But Mel Gibson can direct movies like Apocalypto, which are just
Braveheart.
insane.
Heck,
He's got-
the
he's got-
Passion
he's
of
got
the
that in him.
Christ.
Yeah.
It's like
He's got the resurrection
He can
coming in a minute.
direct.
and he's doing a
Oh, I
sequel.
know. They're doing a sequel.
Yeah.
And
directed
this time
the
it's
sequel,
personal.
like,
you know?
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's got a shelf full of Oscars as a director. I mean, Braveheart was a hit. Apocalypto
Yeah.
was a hit. And Passion of the Christ made him independently wealthy.
Wait, didn't he direct
perpetuity.
Hacksaw Ridge?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
also too. Yeah,
I got a lot of accolades, or at least nominations.
So that's what I mean. So he only has directed serious movies. So I've gone into this as a serious movie. So if you go into it as a comedy, then you might actually think it's good.
And, like,
But they're not marketing it as the kind
Exactly.
no,
So,
like-
so some people are being like, he's playing up to it, being like, he knows it's bad, he's making it funny. But I'm on the side where this is a very serious movie with like a serious plot about. Everyone's seen the trailer if you have. About how this is a witness and witness protection. This is a serious movie. So the stuff that I was laughing at was because I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
You're getting me fired up. I was kind of dreading it, but now I'm actually excited
Yeah,
to see
no,
it.
I'm gonna
But
go
the-
to
but the
AMC
problem-
now. I'm like, tickets are got.
The
for
problem is
tomorrow.
that-
I'm like, thanks, man. I'm
The
thanks.
movie he's describing does not involve Marky Mark with a shaved, balding Homer
The
Simpson.
worst ball cap you'll ever see.
Yes,
Oh my
I
God.
was gonna
It was
say,
so
was he
terrible.
bald at
I
one
was like,
point?
as soon
I'm
as
like,
I
or
saw
did
it.
I dream that? Okay, great.
Yeah,
he had
it was terrible.
alopecia.
No, that's
No
real.
shade.
That's
I
real.
said
Southern
bald.
accent.
I'm like, no shade, James.
Yeah, half this group is all from North Carolina. We will all detect the fake Southern accent very quickly.
Oh, quickly, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. He's never been to a Bojangles. Like, in a heartbeat. Like, it's over. It's over. He's never seen a cookout. You joking?
I love Cookout.
That's funny.
On Battleground in
Right.
Greensboro.
I love Cookout. I love going to Cookout. I miss going to Cookout.
Gosh, NC, stand up.
Let's
go.
see. Yeah, I'm gonna look to see if there's tickets. Yep, Flight Risk 7:15 tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's probably 2 tickets.
No,
We'll see.
buy 2 tickets.
No one in the
Comment says
theater,
It's
like-
bow time, by the way. Joypad Jake says it's bow time.
Hell yeah!
Oh, exactly. There we go.
I met up with him when I was in North
Thanks,
Carolina.
Jake.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I love it.
Shout out to Jay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No tickets have been sold for Flight Risk. That's a disappointment, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
That doesn't surprise
Well,
me.
I'll say this: when I
Yeah,
saw
it doesn't at
Wolfman,
all.
when I saw Wolfman
Oh.
last Thursday, there was like 3 or 4 other tickets sold. I live in a small town, so I was, whatever. Tickets were sold. I was there. No one else showed up. So I was in the whole theater by myself watching Wolfman.
You could have sat anywhere you wanted. You had a choice of every
I sat in my chair. It's fine. It's one I wanted, but like, this other seat's sold. But I'm thinking, okay, cool. We're gonna have other people in here. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get some like people like, oh no, nothing. No one's there.
Now, did anybody else in here see Wolfman?
Yeah. There's a werewolf in it. Spoiler alert. There's a werewolf in it.
Is there?
Yeah, there's a werewolf. Well,
I
that's the real question. Is
was one of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen, but I don't like Blumhouse. Like,
it was a slow burn.
Blumhouse could rot.
Yeah, I love horror, and we're getting a lot of good horror movies right now.
Yeah.
But Blumhouse is not making them. We're getting a lot of great horror movies, just not by Blumhouse. But we've got Presents coming out this weekend. We've got Companion coming out.
Yeah,
but I have to. I understand exactly what you're saying. But Blumhouse did bring the horror genre back to the front years ago. And I'm just like, guys, don't go Lionsgate route. Come back to stay A24. Don't go Lionsgate.
Yeah, Neon's making good horror. Damian Leone's making good horror. Yeah, and we've got like The Monkey coming out from Neon in a couple weeks. There's all Sinners is coming out in April from Ryan Coogler. We've got 28 Years Later. Like the horror genre is kicking all kinds of ass right now. Yeah. It's just not kicking ass at Blumhouse.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say something that's a hot topic. Is Neon making good horror, or is Neon have good marketing?
Their marketing is
because Long Legs
I think it's
not awesome. What I thought it was gonna be. I'm not.
But their marketing is very effective.
Yeah, very effective.
Exactly.
I saw Long Legs a few weeks ago. I really enjoyed it. The marketing was crazy for that. But yeah, I get it. It's definitely not what you're expecting, but at the same time,
underwhelming. I thought we were gonna see bodies on top of bodies on top of bodies. I thought it was gonna be everywhere. It wasn't what I thought. They were making it seem like it was gonna be nuts. And I was like, well, that's it.
Yeah, but the whole movie was worth seeing for that one line where it's like, what does he say at the end about how like we're gonna go into the kitchen, I'll come back, she's gonna stay in there or something like that. But it was just so ruthless and so bloodthirsty. But I can't remember.
She was like, I'll come back, or she said I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll come back.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
He's like,
it became kind of a bit on the show, even though I didn't see the movie, where people be in the show here, and they would in the line that he says to her when she walks in, there she is. Yeah, that's the way he says that. It's like, because he's like all excited. He's like, there she is. Yep. And then his performance he's over the top, but that's the point of the character. Like he's just creepy as shit.
But speaking of werewolves,
this was a little unimpressed.
We got news today that Robert Eggers is going to do a werewolf movie as his follow-up to Nosferatu. So clearly Focus is fired up.
Yeah.
Can he just stop making another of the same movie that someone else is making that same year?
I want him to keep making monster movies and dark fantasy film because he's really good at it.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Isn't he looking? Who is it that said they're looking at doing a mummy one?
I didn't hear that rumor, but I mean, I think he was developing a medieval knight movie.
Yeah, the knight,
and he was developing a Western film. So I bet those are going to come at some point. But I think with him doing a werewolf movie, yes. Yeah. I mean, look,
it takes place in the 13th century, so it'll be super medieval and dark
with accurate dialogue from the time period.
What if that is
really?
To Adam, what did your countrymen speak like in the 1300s back in England? That's like
exactly.
Exactly like Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yeah, that's what all Americans think we sound like anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe's going to be there. I don't think he'll be the werewolf, but I think he will be in the movie. I wonder.
I'm something of a werewolf myself. Really, bro.
Well played. I would just have him be the werewolf design. Willem Dafoe is the werewolf.
He's just walking around.
No transformation.
I love it.
Yeah,
it would be better than the werewolf design in Wolfman if it was just Willem Dafoe walking around and saying,
that'd be great.
Will Andrew Garfield be the werewolf? That's a good callback because
he'll turn into Willem Dafoe. That's how.
I like that. Andrew Garfield turn into Willem Dafoe. Yeah,
he took the substance
the substance.
But what's crazy is how in the early 80s, between the beginning of the Michael Jackson Thriller video and American Werewolf in London and The Howling, we had all these great examples of werewolves on screen that looked fucking awesome. Then Wolfman comes along, 40 years later, and somehow they've taken all these steps backwards. I'm like, we knew how to make great werewolf movies once upon a time. I just don't understand what Lee Whannell was doing with that movie.
Even Underworld tried something new that was interesting. You know what I mean? With
or like Dog Soldiers in the UK, that was another good werewolf movie. Like, some of them, there's some good ones out there.
I'll throw this out here. Let me see if I can find the photo of what I'm looking for. But I think of like the Van Helsing movie with its werewolf design.
Oh, the Hugh Jackman flick?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up an image right now. Like this design is insane.
Yeah, Joypad, me too, by the way. But yes, I love that design. I love it. And it's like, it's obviously, a really over the top wolf man hybrid, but I mean, it's fucking badass.
A proper lycanthrope.
I did love their transformations though too.
Oh yeah,
and that how it tore through this. I was like,
the
right
skin.
on,
Yeah.
Corridor Crew did that one recently, and their whole thing was how many layers are in the Werewolf Man, bro?
Oh, the Werewolf by Night design from that's a good one too.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
To me, that was better than the one we just got in this movie we're talking about.
Oh yeah,
because that was classic.
It was more in line with Lon Chaney's 40s Wolfman design,
but it
which
worked.
And even look at the 2010 Benicio del Toro, freaking Anthony Hopkins designs. Like they were classic, but look more Wolfman to me. It felt like in Wolfman, it's like, okay, I understand like when you read the story and the text and it kind of explains what's happening. Okay. But it's not really Wolf Man. It's more like Creature Man.
Yeah, just like rabies on steroids.
Yeah, rabies times 10.
Kind of like weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like virus
Did anybody see Black Phone?
I did. I enjoyed Black Phone.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
I forgot. A second one.
I'll say this.
They're gonna do.
I don't know how they're gonna do that.
That's what I'm gonna say. Where are we going with that story? I felt like it was wax. At the end, I was like, "Great, that was so good." You're like 2. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Are we doing a prequel sequel? We're gonna see the origin of the grabber and all that.
We're gonna literally see all those kids from the
I wonder.
Everything needs a prequel at this point. Jesus, it's kind of ridiculous. Well, then again, like I saw Abigail last year, that came out last year. That the vampire's daughter. That movie was insane.
If they had not spoiled the marketing, it would have been amazing. It still was amazing. But
I agree, but like the third act is hidden completely. So,
totally.
Yeah, but Abigail's amazing. And my first thought was at finishing, I'd like to see it. Like, no, not everything needs a franchise. But I just love what they set up with her character alone. I'm like, I'd love to see a prequel. Like, but she's like, once she explains, her whole situation, like, I want to see all that. I want that sounds amazing.
And then her old man shows up and you're like, bro, where did you guys come from? You guys are awesome.
Yeah. And then the movie ends. I'm like, okay, but it's amazing. It definitely is worth the watch. You're just not, even if you do the spoiler, because in the marketing, the third act is completely hidden, so you have no idea what to expect. It gets fucking bonkers. My God, and my wife, who isn't really a horror fan, loved it. She was reading her book. She's like, "I'll read my book. You watch everyone." Okay, I'm gonna watch Abigail. She's watching the movie. She completely forgot about her book. He's like, "This is amazing." I'm like, "Honey, I didn't think you'd like this. It's a horror movie. Like, this is awesome." So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like at a time where we obviously have plenty of prequels and midquels and sequels and remakes going on, and there's plenty of that going on in the horror genre. However, right now I feel like there's so much cool original storytelling going on, like new directors who are just like telling their own stories their own way. I'm more excited about the new filmmakers emerging in the horror genre than in any other form of genre entertainment, more than sci-fi, more than fantasy, more than superheroes. For whatever reason right now, we're just living through a really good time. And maybe just because the budgets are so low, they can take risks and tell new stories and build their own new IP.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's not like an original character because it was created, but Nosferatu, like Robert Eggers did whatever he wanted to do in that movie, and it's phenomenal. And it's just like you see that today and you go, this to me at least, this is what film should be in general. Like this, like creativity, do what you want. I mean, he made a lot of changes and did it was crazy. But then you see like these films where they're spending $300 million, and you're like, guys,
what are we getting?
Where's the money going?
Yeah.
Well, Nosferatu costs about 50, and they're reaping the benefits. It's a hit.
My partner was Salty, and I were just talking today about the fact that you look at the Marvel stuff, and I'm not getting into all that. What I mean is, he's like, well, how is Brave New World ever going to make back its money? It's not supposed to. It's supposed to try to rebuild the goodwill that they used to have. Nobody intends that movie to make money. They gave Feige permission to go fix things, and he went, "This sucks. Go back and do it again." Then they had a second time, and he went, "All these pieces here still suck. Go back and do it again," because he knows the point of it is to be good. Money be damned. They need goodwill to keep that engine running.
Marvel needs to learn, though, to write screenplays on paper first before they start shooting, as opposed to reshooting everything. It's like paper and pen is cheap. Like, write your stories down, and if you don't like them, scratch it out and write it again.
Kevin can look at a script and go, "This sucks. Do it again."
Yeah, that's much faster.
Well,
much cheaper.
At this point, Marvel needs to figure it out.
That I would say that, and I guess I want to hear everybody else's take because I have this argument all the time. I feel like where Marvel went wrong was all the TV shows. Granted, let me explain. WandaVision, fantastic, won't take up for debate. Loki, great. Winter Soldier, that's where it lost me. Everything after that, I was like, I could care less. I'm not watching this. And the thing was, they were doing so well. Everything was so good. And then they kept feeling like they've got to pump this out. We've got to keep having this show and this show and this show. Where the train they went in, a movie here, a movie there, a movie here, a movie there. Did some lack in the sense? Absolutely. But it still could have worked. But the shows, popping them out, man.
Yeah,
man,
so
co-signed. I totally agree with everything you just said.
It's two things. One, Bob Iger left. Bob Chapek, as I call him, Bob Paycheck, came in. And and I know back in 2019 for Bob Iger left, they had announced those shows. Then the pandemic, Bob Chapek came over. Bob Paycheck was basically forced them like fast. We got to pump as much shit out as possible. And also the second problem, which does fall on Marvel. The second part does fall on Marvel a bit. They didn't have showrunners for a lot of these shows.
No.
So that's also a major problem. But it really does fall on, at least for those number of stuff that came out super fast after the pandemic was kind of getting out of it.
Like Secret Invasion and Echo.
Yeah.
And
because Disney was forced and we have to get this.
The biggest steaming pile of dog crap. I have no idea. I am so mad at that because I wanted greatness.
That's the thing. It should have been a movie. A lot of those shows
could
have been movies. That's what they don't get. They're too like Winter Soldier, even though I just talked cash shit about it, should have just been a move. Go ahead and throw it out. Now I'm excited for Brave New World, but they could have just thrown that out and made that something. Thunderbolts,
my issue, real quick. My issue with the Marvels is not what half the people have normally said. My issue with the Marvels was this very simple thing. They kept telling me about better movies in the movie. And they kept talking. Everybody wanted to be like, "Remember when you came and saved our planet and did this thing?" And I'm like, I want to see that.
Why didn't we do that?
Why didn't you just show me all these stuff you wanted to tell me about?
Yeah,
that sounded awesome. Like
with that, and as we alluded to before, a lot of Marvel's fans would be casual movie watchers, and then when you're throwing out X amount of TV shows that you have to watch before you can watch this movie, people just turn off and they're like, "Well, I'm not showing up for that movie anymore." Whereas like in the peak Avengers phase, it was like, yeah, you're going to have to go and watch the movies before it to fully understand, but that's one or two movies, that's fine. But people don't have the time to commit to endless TV shows, because I'm one of those people where I watched 200 2024 releases, and that was what I focused on, was just pure movies and one or two TV shows. I have not watched a single one of Marvel's TV shows past WandaVision. Because
will you watch Daredevil when it comes back?
That.
I will.
Yeah,
that's completely separate for me.
Yeah.
Like I love Daredevil growing up, but going into Brave New World, like I've never seen Anthony Mackie pick up the shield, but apparently he did it in Winter Soldier. Couldn't care less. Like just show me the model of old with the movies where they were good quality. You can switch off. They're not going to be like these masterpieces, but you're going to have a great time. You can have fun with your friends and go home and talk about it. Whereas now, I don't think we're in that era. And hopefully it does come back with Brave New World, and they'll see that it's not just all about money. But I'm starting to lose hope just with how much they've got slated as well to come out.
Whatever happened to like less is more? And they like so much is coming out.
Well, the writer's strike
Deadpool was good. Deadpool 3, great.
Yeah.
Deadpool, I mean, I do think Deadpool. It wasn't my favorite, but I liked it. But I liked the third one. I felt like the best, and I was like, man, Marvel's back. And then I was like, that was just the hype. That was just the hype. Now, Brave New World, I'm scared. Now I'm scared to go to the theater in a couple of weeks. But I don't know. I thought they had it with Deadpool, and then now I'm just like, man, I'm kind of nervous, but we'll see. I think they could make it back, but it's going to be a long road.
I think
even do.
I think it's a multifaceted problem. On the television side of things, I feel like because I really enjoyed WandaVision, I really enjoyed those 2 seasons of Loki. That was great. Yeah. If you're gonna do like spin-offs of the movies, then have it be more of like a swan song for some of these characters like Loki. Like you don't. I think how they handled Loki in the films was great. You know, he was probably one of the most consistent things across all the films. But like how they handled him in that season made him, he earned being a hero by the end of it. And I felt that WandaVision I thought was very good. But I feel like what Marvel probably should do from the television side is the approach they took with X-Men 97, which I don't know if you guys watched that. But it was even though it is a legacy sequel to the original 90s X-Men series, they made that like very, very special. And it felt more of, you didn't need to watch like Fox's X-Men films or the MCU to keep up with it. It's like, oh, this is a new iteration of the X-Men, and they delivered something I think very special. They should do more stuff like that, or more of these specials like the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special or the Werewolf by Night thing. Yeah, make them more like events. Make them more like an hour 15 minutes. It's like, all right, this is just a side story in the MCU. It's not necessary to watch this film, that film, take up with this series or whatever, and just go in that direction. I feel like, and the other thing is, and I think that hopefully they'll do this now, they just got to get out of the multiverse stuff. Not to say that they didn't have successes, not that they didn't have movies coming out at the time, whether they were tied to multiverse or not. Because people forget about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I thought the movie was fucking great. I thought that was excellent.
Movie of the year. Don't get me started.
And like Spider-Man No Way Home, they did a lot, good stuff. But yes, they've been extremely inconsistent. Let's get to the mutants.
You had DC and Marvel making multiverse movies at the same time. It's like, just let it go. Like, just fewer multiverse movies. You're both beating it to death.
Yeah, that's why Secret Wars needs to end it.
Yeah,
like Secret Wars, it has to
make it the end, and move forward and recast whoever needs to be recast. Like, this is your opportunity to bring
start fresh
characters we know and just have them somebody new in them. You're good. Move forward.
I agree.
The only problem though with that is that the multiverse movies are the ones that made the most money out of all of them.
Yeah,
it's like No Way Home and Deadpool and Wolverine are the only ones that cleared $1 billion. And
here's the thing:
like Marvel's going to take the wrong message from that.
But if most of the multiverse stuff was of the quality of what you just talked about, we would be fine with it. We wouldn't have had a problem.
100%.
But they all came out during that Chapek era, where it was just like, quick, get everything out, and nothing made sense.
Yeah.
So prediction time of the 3 Marvel movies coming out this year, will any of them outgrow Superman?
Oh,
what are the 3 movies? Because I know that
Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and Cap.
I think Fantastic Four is the only one with a chance, and that's if critical reception is great before anyone else gets to see it, and then those diehards that go Thursday and Friday first thing receive it just as well. That's the
they're going head to head. Superman comes out, and FF comes out 2 weeks later.
Yeah, I think Fantastic Four has an uphill battle though, because the Fantastic Four films from Fox were horrible in different ways.
Okay, whoa! Time out. Hold on. They weren't going to win any Oscars, but I had a fun time with them.
The Tim Story films, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I never regretted seeing any of them. I had a fun time with them. I knew what they were. I didn't go into them with high expectations. Would they stand up against anything today? Oh, of course not. But at the time, I think, because I remember at the time people being like, these were horrible. I'm like, what are you talking about? They were fun. They were fun. You had a good time. You forgot life. You ate a popcorn.
And that's fair. But we also think that the last time we saw the Fantastic Four was Fan Four Stick, and how that was horribly received.
That was garbage.
And I saw that opening, and I saw that Thursday night preview screening. I saw that. And
now we saying what was trash was like Fantastic Four, the first one, and then Rise of the Silver Surfer. Those 2 films alone. I'm like waiting for somebody to say something bad. Those 2 films alone were outstanding for what
they were.
They're nostalgic now.
Remember when they came out?
I think that's.
I do remember when they came out.
They were shockingly the most accurate comic book movies of the time.
I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying
Listen,
we
as a
need to go-
Fantastic Four fan, like having read the
no,
comics
I'm
and everything
talking
like
about
that,
for the
those
era.
movies are
I'm talking-
far removed from the comics.
No, but I'm talking
They
about
were
for the era
good.
of
They
time
were
in terms
so
of
good.
movies where everybody wanted to hide superhero stuff. So every superheroes weren't ever in the forefront as they were. These guys had color, they had panache, they had a lot of the things going on that we weren't seeing at that time in comic book movies. And I don't mean accurate to the comics by any stretch. Trust me, nothing was accurate to the comics back then.
But
Not
at least
even
they put on the
Blade
time.
was way
Nostalgic.
cooler in the
Yeah.
movie than he was in the
Yeah.
comics at the time.
In
Yeah,
the
yeah.
times, I feel like they were nostalgic. So I'm not gonna say they were great. Like they don't amount to anything. They're not amazing, but I think they were so
No,
good.
for real.
Silver
I think
Surfer
for
looked
what
cool.
They were.
Yeah.
Definitely, those were good movies. But I'm not saying that we need to go and be like, Jessica, please come be in this right
Hey,
now.
hey, you
And
know
like,
they're gonna
we
pop
don't
in
need to do
Secret.
good
that.
actor.
They're gonna be in Secret Wars.
As Invisible
So
Ones.
Yeah.
will
I
we
believe
Yeah, I
it
was
is
gonna say
Wars.
Secret Wars.
will we see multiverse versions of the
Yes.
previous iterations of the team and the
Yes.
new one? Like, will we
I
see
not.
all of
I
them?
think so.
It probably in Secret Wars. If it's not all
Yeah,
of them, at
probably
least
Secret
you'll see
Wars.
probably Reed and Sue, and you
Yeah.
probably see Chris Evans as a version of Johnny.
He's showing up in Deadpool and Wolverine. I like what they do with him.
was
To
great.
speak positively about the Tim Story Fantastic Four films, I thought Chris Evans, he was doing a great job with the material that
Oh, yeah.
he was
Yeah.
given.
Yeah.
And I
Agreed.
thought Michael Chiklis was doing as good a
Bro,
job
yes.
as he could do with
Yeah.
the thing. I felt like, I mean, Jessica Alba, she can't act. So I mean,
She's-
already I was like,
But
that
she
was
did a
Tuesday.
great job
Yeah,
as
did
just
she?
Watch
Gritty.
her mouth. I'll be
I-
honest
Gritty
with
and
you,
being
Valentine's
invisible.
Day, watch her mouth. That much she can act. You
Oh,
want
yeah,
to do
totally.
Valentine's Day? Watch her mouth.
Valentine's
Great
Day.
actress. No,
That's the
no
movie, yeah,
Jessica
okay.
Alba slander
Got
will
it.
be tolerated.
He's
And I hate the other thing I really hate about the Fantastic Four films as like a fan of like the Reed Richards character,
Sure,
how they
sure.
made him like I'm the anxious, geek. I don't know how to
Yeah,
talk to
that's
women,
true.
anything like that, which is the complete opposite of what Reed is.
I've
And
always
Galactus
seen him
is
as
it's such a
Yeah.
it's such a stereotype of like
I've always
of
seen
that
Reed
kind of
as,
character.
I've always seen Reed as on the border of being narcissist.
Yeah,
Like,
he
like,
is.
He is
100%.
so intelligent that he's like, look, I am the smartest person in the room. I listen to her because she's my wife and she's beautiful. The rest of you, I'm smarter than all of you.
Yes.
So get out of my face.
That's exactly what he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just didn't lean into that at all. And so I was like,
No.
we have a panel full of new people. We might as well bring in one of the regulars on the show. Ronan is here. Welcome,
Yo.
sir.
Oh,
Hey, man.
What's going on?
What's up,
So
Ronan?
who was slamming Jessica Alba now? Like what?
me. I was. That all wanted to slam. I like actors who have talent.
You know,
And-
Blasphemy.
Thanks, Ronan.
Blasphemy.
Controversial.
Thank you, Ronan. Welcome.
Is she the Sue Storm that I thought as a kid reading the comics? No, it's a version, but I was just like, there's more criminal performances than her in there. And
Oh,
like,
there's worse people than her. I agree.
and yeah,
for sure,
like I was like, I heard somebody mention those Tim Curry movies. I was like, wait, what? That's my
story.
FF for my kids from my childhood. So yeah, like
same.
Ronan was
Smart
brought in.
man says Ronan.
Same
Yeah.
Same.
like
my
do not-
Fantastic
Welcome,
Four
Ronan.
film is The Incredibles because that's
you
the
do not,
movie.
yes,
that
there,
did it.
yes, there you go.
That's
The
fair.
Incredibles is the FF.
Agreed.
But do not mess with the Latina. Do not that shit hurts, man. Like don't mess with
And
Latina.
just like a Latina, she had blonde hair. We're good,
Which-
man. We're good. No.
yeah, that's a whole
But
I'm
as
Puerto
enough-
Rican. I'm Puerto Rican. Trust me. We have that one too. Okay, right now my mother has blonde hair, and I'm like, Mama, why? Why? Why do you do this to yourself?
Even I, as a kid, was like, "Huh, okay, all right, I'll go with it." But it is what it. But I agree,
Has
The
enough
Incredibles
time
is
though
the FF
passed
movie.
has enough time passed since Josh Trank's film though, where it'll kind of be like we've had a palate cleanser, or do people still remember that movie? Like if
been
you're
a lot-
18
yeah.
right now, do you even know the Josh Trank movie even exists?
It's
What?
fantastic.
What?
No.
When you guys mentioned the old Fantastic Four movies, his did not come into my mind.
No.
At all.
Yeah, like, and it's weird because I remember going to that movie and being like, you know what? The first third of it, I'm with it, and then something
everything falls
happened.
It just
I think it was once they went to the
Yeah.
the negative zone or whatever
Well,
they were calling that
well,
place.
even that was fine. And the body horror at first, the first couple minutes, like,
first.
oh, the body horror of it. But then it completely goes off the rails because you
Like,
see
oh, no.
all the massive cuts
Oh,
and
God,
edits.
stop.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it
you
was-
can
it was
definitely
butchered.
rough.
It was
Yeah.
butchered.
Yeah. I don't
Y'all
know.
talking
I
about the one with
think
Miles Teller?
yeah.
Ah,
As
yeah.
Reed.
Didn't
We
watch it.
almost got here.
Incredible
on
actors.
I'm
but it's
27.
just like-
I didn't
An
watch it.
awkward nerd again in that.
There was a
Yeah.
version of the Wolverine and Deadpool movie where he was going to be killed by Wolverine. There was a version of that script out there apparently. And I was like, really?
That would have been funny to watch.
That would've been
I think
great.
in a few more years, maybe. But again, it's you see what was that, 2015 Fantastic? So like
10 years.
Days of Future Past had either come out or was about to. The MCU was like on a roll post Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's just like, and with the Tim Curry movies, it's like that's from that era. And again, not what the comics were, or maybe not the character were, but like to an extent, they got the spirit of why you would care for the FF. And again, this is coming from like post 90s when it like the 90s was all about the X-Men and mutants and whatnot. And at the same time, the X-Men movies were coming out. So the fact that they put 2 Fantastic Four movies out, I think was a miracle in that day and age. But then again, I know it's probably because they wanted to keep the rights in. Like, oh shit, we gotta get these rights before somebody else gets them. And it's like, it's what it is. Like, we got a version of the Thing, Michael Chiklis, which I heard you guys were praising. I'm like, yep, that felt like what I think to an extent would.
And he was huge at the time due to The Shield. That show was massive in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I forget about that show.
I feel like the thing that is going to help, it's going to be the trailer. It's that first trailer. And, you know, I'm hoping that they just really lean into the retro futuristic aesthetic, which has always been a part of the Fantastic Fours, you know, just setting and look, leaning into that Jack Kirby designs, but then also embracing the fact that this is a family. All right. And they've never leaned into that. I'm just like, look at what The Incredibles. That's what, because Brad Bird, who directed Incredibles, said my 2 biggest inspirations for that movie were James Bond films and the Fantastic Four. And if you manage to capture the same magic that he did with The Incredibles, I feel like you can have a success. I'm hoping.
Will it be a Super Bowl trailer for FF?
I would. I
think so, yeah.
If they were smart, they would.
Ronan,
a teaser.
Ronan was in Hall H when they showed footage of Fantastic Four.
I'm telling y'all, Chris, it's just the marketing, the posters outside of Gaslamp. I was like, okay, I think they're doing the 60 stuff. What I was thinking, and then I'm telling y'all, that was the one like footage. I was like, please just show us something. Like even RDJ coming back. Cool, that flipped the roof off of
you
Hall
were
H.
there.
He was in Hall H. I was
in Hall H when that happened, and like, but to me, I said it even after getting out. Like to me, it was the FF stuff that I'm like, oh god, I think this feels like they're doing it. Like again, and it was only concept stuff. It wasn't even. I don't think it's stuff that's going to be in the movie, but it was just stuff showing you this is what we're going for. Yeah, and with the music from Giacchino to like. Ben being like in a game show, you know, of someone being like, I choose number 3 to go on a date. And like, again, at that time in a silhouette, before we saw that set photo of him wearing the mask, it felt like, yo, I think they literally just got a page of Jack Kirby, the Thing, and John Byrne's Thing. They said, do that in practical effects and do that for this film. And I'm telling y'all, they would have to go out of their way to drop the ball with what they already teased with us. It felt the nerves, because again, I love the FF, but they're not my X-Men. So that I was coming into this being like, please do right by these characters. Like, do right after 2 iterations now. You have it on the MCU. There's no more
Roger Corman.
The Roger Corman, yeah.
4, yes. The Roger
Best
Corman,
one.
yes. 4, yes.
Right now.
No, in respect to those, because yes, Roger Corman was the one that, for you know, whether for reasons they put up, but yes, that was the original team. But like, to me, the relief I felt coming out of that footage was when I remember when they showed the first teaser for Blade Runner 2049 and be like, okay, this feels right. When they did the first footage for X-Men 97, I'm like, okay, this feels right. Like they would have to go out of the way to mess up, and I don't think they will.
That's good.
The only question I have is, do they make you put your phone up in a box? Like, how does that work? Do you have to put
for
it
Hall
up?
H?
Do you sign it? Yeah. What goes on?
No,
I know you can't tell
that's
me. Like, you have to kill me after you tell me.
No. That's the thing with Hall H, which is, you know, for better or worse, is that they don't take away our phones. Which again, I don't know how you could do it for 6,000 people.
Yeah,
especially some who are in press. Which technically I was press covering it, so I had to be, you know, with that fucking the signal that was in Hall H, be like, yo, they just showed FF footage. Yeah, amazing. They're doing right by the 60s. They're honoring Jack Kirby's flavor, and so. They don't take it away, but they do have people walking in each row section, making sure that like, okay, nobody's messing with us. And again, the footage that leaked, I think it's a miracle that nobody. Maybe they got him and they dragged him out, but somebody was made it out.
Someone should record it.
I was gonna say I saw that. Yeah,
well, it's like a D23 last year as well. Or the opening night where they had like 3 or 4 hours of stuff. Yeah, they were just like the whole time. They didn't stop anybody recording shit. It's just like just record whatever you want. It's like, my god. And that's when that Daredevil footage came out before it officially released a few weeks ago.
Twice.
Last week, yeah. They kept leaking. It's like, come on, guys, just put it out.
Yeah.
But it's because of Disney Plus, they're not going to put it out so far in advance. So at least they market better than Netflix did, because we were talking about that earlier. Like Netflix doesn't hardly market their shit unless it's like Wednesday, Stranger Things. If it ain't something major like that, they don't care. One trailer and you're done. Like there's a Witcher movie coming out next month and Sirens of the Deep, an animated movie. They put out a trailer. I bet we get probably one more trailer, hardly marketed. It's going to drop next month and no one's going to know about it.
Sadly,
yeah. It is what it is. It's unfortunate.
I think if everybody remembers 2008, Dark Knight, Iron Man, that summer, I feel if they play the cards right,
and Hulk came out
and Hulk,
yeah.
If they play the cards right this year in July, FF, Superman is going to kick that same energy up going. I think if they do it right, and it'll be a good statement to be like, you know what?
Yeah.
The MCU is doing the thing now. We have the FF, we have the X-Men, and now this is the dawn of a new era for the DCU. And I think it'll be beneficial to both franchises
I like your
and both
optimism.
fan bases.
Very nice.
We have to be optimistic, unfortunately.
And Ronan, we trust.
Well, we have to be optimistic because the problem is there's so many people being negative now. It's just it's all it
there are
is.
a lot of terrible shows and movies that have helped make that negativity.
Well, that too. But what I'm meaning is there's so many people that are just hating on everything
In the masturbatory way, not even in a critical way of like this is what I think. It was like, you know what, man? The views are low. Fucking let's get into Star Wars again. What's ringing right now?
Yeah, it's like every single piece of news that comes out, even if it's not real, it's just a rumor. They have to like spout anger and aggression and shit because it's not their. It's just that's what I hate about it. That's why I hate being on social media so much. Yeah. But I have to keep up with this stuff. So it's a double-edged sword. There's the positive and there's the negative. It is what it is.
Well, like with DC,
I've made some negative stuff.
It's been a tough road the last couple of years. I've watched the Superman trailer now probably 20 times, and I get goosebumps every time. I'm like almost naively optimistic about how good I think it might be. But goddamn, there've been a lot of terrible DC movies in recent years. So I understand when people start getting a little sour and negative about just the superhero genre in general, just because it's been the exception, I suppose, to the norm to get good stuff. But I'm rooting hard for Superman. That trailer really, really got to me.
Me too.
Yeah. And James Gunn had to come out swinging with that trailer working as well as it did, because if it shit the bed, it's not looking good at all for the DCU. Like it's a bad start. I mean, think of we were talking about Transformers 1.
You don't have to like him if you don't want to. No, there are a lot of people who have their judgments. The man hasn't really failed in comic books movies yet. I don't care what your actual opinion. I'm talking actual money, critically, whatever. Because I know people who are like, no, this movie sucked, or that movie sucked, or Guardians 3. I'm like, bro.
They've all done well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He has nothing but goodwill from me.
Too.
Same.
Yeah, I watched the Suicide Squad 3 days in a row the weekend it came out. Yeah, I went berserk over that.
We got Starro, bro. Whoever thought you'd
that was
see
amazing.
Starro?
I couldn't believe
that.
That
is from same day release on Disney Plus, on fucking HBO.
Max.
Like that was butchered at the box.
That was the reason that's the exception.
That's the exception because
some of his other movies.
That's what I'm getting to, Phil, is because financially it came out at a bad time.
Yeah.
If it would have came out a year later,
when did it come out?
2021.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it was same day.
A year into this,
when they were
but it wasn't whether or not it did good financially. It wasn't a bad movie.
It
wasn't.
It was a huge improvement over Suicide Squad. I was like,
hands down.
They shouldn't have even really made it should have only been the Suicide Squad.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, that's
we had a different team,
and that one I'll put, because I know there's somebody here, a friend of ours who defends the first one. That like I could even admit that like James had the benefit that like he had put in a body of work that the studio at that time was willing to be like, all right, we won't mess with you, do your thing, and we trust you with that. With David Ayer, unfortunately, that was where like again, it was it was the perfect storm for a lot of those creatives where it's like the MCU, fuck, we gotta catch up, and then they just messy with him. So like, and again, I one day I would like to see his version, though. I'm not losing sleep over it because I'm not getting any younger. And I got better shit to do. I got bills to pay. So, it's. I think for that one, it suffered. But I agree that like in James Gunn, I'm like, I have yet to see him see an ounce of like, oh, I don't know about this as a whole. And it'll be a departure. Like again, Creature Commandos, similar veins, yet pushed a different side that you can do with DCU. And I think with Superman, if everything falls to place, it'll show that yes, even with the big IP characters, he can bring in a nuance and, dare I say, shine a good light for the DC brand.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the biggest superhero movie of the year.
Agreed.
And you were mentioning him. So the lore is this is my mom and dad. Phil is my dad. And Gianni is my mom. Hey boys, what's up, guys?
Howdy.
Now we've officially maxed out. We're at full capacity. So
Hello.
yeah.
Got a block party.
What's going on?
Creature Commandos is the best thing James Gunn has done to date. Number one. Number two,
here we go.
his Suicide Squad film is the farthest thing from John Ostrander's book, period, bar none, end of conversation. And that first movie David Ayer made, despite the fact that it's a studio metal fucking mess, it still resembles more of what the Suicide Squad actually is about, as opposed to the movie James Gunn made.
Including Cholo Joker, yeah.
Cholo Joker.
Cholo Joker
is.
Oh man.
What do you think? That's exactly what he is.
What is
no.
In the film.
I
like James Gunn's Suicide
metal
Squad
teeth
quite a
and-
bit.
Here's the thing. My problem was we didn't get to see enough of what that Joker was supposed to be. What we saw,
I saw it.
They
great
cut out.
because they cut out. Because
They cut out
my
a lot.
understanding is there's other scenes that actually would have.
Oh, his role got
expanded on the
completely
character.
cut. It
Yeah.
was severed from that
I
film.
would have loved to have actually seen what everyone talked about rather than just what we saw wasn't enough for me to make an actual judgment.
Oh, there
Because
was
I
a lot
loved
more.
when he walks out and he grabs dude by the shoulders. I thought he was terrifying in that moment.
Yeah.
I was scared with Homeboy. I was like,
You
oh
don't
my
want no
God.
beef.
Don't want no breed.
Let me give you a reach around, Bruce. Which I think, to be fair, he did say in the Zack Snyder
love
cut of
it.
Justice
The
League.
Snyder cut.
I was not a fan of that take on the character.
Oh, really? I couldn't
hear
tell.
My thing is this: I'm not afraid of something new if you lean into it. I feel like whatever editing they did to try to make it better hurt it. If I could have seen the full committed version of whatever they were doing, I think we might have thought, "Oh wow, that's interesting."
Would have been way
'Cause the
different.
thing-
That movie
yeah.
was cut together by a trailer company, and that's the unfortunate truth about that.
Which is why we got 57 different title cards.
So refresh my memory on the history, but the trailers did so well that they basically decided, well, then let's let these guys do a pass on the movie, and that's what we got.
more or less.
Yeah.
But those trailers were outstanding, but it's a different
By
form
the
of
way,
storytelling.
Oscar award winning. Suicide
Yeah,
Squad.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah, one of the
forgets
It
the
did win
movie
an
won.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah,
Boom.
And it's
I
weird
think
because you look
I
at
think
that
that just
teaser.
speaks worse about the Oscars than anything else. But go on.
Well,
Throwback-
the first teaser, that first one
Yes.
that leaked from Comic-Con they had put out, that was what
I
the
started
tone
a
was
joke.
in the movie.
Yeah, with the Pink
Yeah.
Floyd song, I started
Yeah.
a joke, and it was awesome. And then they had the one with
It was a great trailer.
was it Bohemian not Bohemian Rhapsody, Bohemian
Blitz.
Rhapsody.
Ballroom Blitz.
But
Ballroom Blitz.
Yeah,
Ballroom Blitz.
But yeah, but those first two trailers kicked much ass.
They did.
and
Yeah,
then you
I may
got
not have some stuff
3
about that
hours
cut
or
of
an
that
hour and a
movie on
half
my
of that.
computer.
Oh, you have some stuff?
I may or may not have some stuff about that movie on my computer. Yeah,
What else you got on your computer?
don't worry about it.
I will worry about it.
I'm not going to tell you. I ain't telling you
Okay.
shit.
Is that
Well,
canon?
Yes,
Is that canon?
yes, it is totally canon.
I want everything though. Send me everything.
I know. You every other word out of your mouth is I want.
I do. I do. Because you don't feed me because you're a bad dad. That's
Well,
what I'm
it's not my fault. You're a selfish, spoiled, pompous little shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Mom,
Oh, trust me, gentlemen. This
I
is
just
just a
watched
regular
that.
thing. This is
Mom,
nothing new.
are you gonna do anything about him? You're treating your son like this? Come on now, Mom.
No, your dad's kind of turning me on right now.
Just wow.
Jake's right. I haven't gotten the belt out yet. There's no need for it. yet.
Wow. The belt.
The only thing I disagree with is that I think James Gunn's Suicide Squad is probably my favorite DCEU movie personally. but that's just me.
Mhm.
That's fair.
Oh.
Probably.
It's at the bottom of my list personally, but I get it.
Not a terrible take.
Yeah.
Love it. Love me some Polka Dot Man. Fantastic.
Polka dot. Man.
Polka dot
God.
man.
They gave Polka Dot Man more of an arc than any of the characters.
Bro,
in
for
David Ayer's
real.
Suicide Squad.
Oh my god.
Like there are things in that movie that I like. I just don't like the movie as a whole.
So what's the key John Ostrander run on the book from like the late 80s that you love?
It is John Ostrander's Suicide Squad. He's got 6 volumes. It's actually pretty incredible.
Because I read it in bits and pieces back in the day, but I was just so young I wasn't like following it on a regular basis. But if you were to recommend like one trade that collects like one arc, what is the key John Ostrander?
I mean, look, Trial by Fire, the very
opening one.
The opening one is fantastic. I mean,
Gotcha.
you get like. That's actually where you see Weasel for the first time. Funny enough, like that's where he's introduced. I believe is in Trial by Fire. It's either that one or the second volume. I don't remember which, but the first appearance of Weasel is in that run of Suicide Squad, and it's either like in the Suicide Squad book proper or it's like the Legend of Firestorm. I don't remember which one it is. Thank you. Yeah. Like it was one of the two, but yeah, you see Weasel and how like the first appearance of Weasel, and he's actually like quite a feral creature. You see, Captain Boomerang, you see Rick Flag, you see a whole bunch of different shit, and it's just a really solid book through and through. You even get the origin of Amanda Waller in it too.
Yeah,
it's really
Johnny
great.
Connells is in the background, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe you're correct. Yes. Yeah.
Was Peacemaker in there for you?
Fuck no.
he's later
Fuck no.
in the run. He later shows up, which was apropos for when the
let me guess. You skipped all that.
I mean, he came in like way
way
later. But yeah, I could give a shit about Peacemaker.
It's weird because again, I like, and me and it's me and Phil's bit where like there's some stuff he likes, some stuff I like. With Peacemaker, I like that vigilante, but I also could tell that vigilante isn't the one from the comics, and there's especially one I think Phil's familiar with it. There's a 1 issue or 2 issue arc with Vigilante when he meets like someone getting sexually assaulted, a woman one, and like how he goes about it. And it's written by Alan Moore, which again, Alan.
Mid '80s Vigilante was one of the most hardcore books on the rack. It fucking ruled.
Marv Wolfman fucked on that book, and it was amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
it was fucking amazing. Like people look at me funny. People look at me funny when I say Adrian Chase and Peacemaker is a fucking joke. When they're just like, "Oh, what?" I was like, "No, that's not the Adrian Chase that I know." Like Ronan knows full well what
completely
I'm talking
different,
about.
Yeah.
And people are just like, "Oh, you're a hater." Like, no, I just know which version of the character I fucking like. Thank you. Maybe you should read a fucking comic book. But
I like both, but I could admit that's not the from the books and whatnot. Like,
for sure.
Yeah. And and me and Phil, we differ on it. I think the Suicide Squad is very much the Ostrander run, but Phil thinks that the Air version is more closer to the Ostrander one. But it's it's what it is.
Well, I mean, like the movie has them fighting a giant fucking starfish. Not once in Ostrander's run do they fight some big fucking kaiju. Like, come on. It's government black ops missions through and through. Like you could argue, a giant fucking starfish in the middle of fucking Corto Maltese. You could I suppose consider that a black ops mission, but at the same time, it's like that's very cosmic to a degree, and it's like, does the Suicide Squad really deal with stuff like that? No, not really.
It's Justice League.
I guess
exactly.
One point that I would bring up though for like the original Suicide Squad, I don't mean to keep hating on it. Like we could agree to disagree, of course. Like what you like, dislike your dislike. But like in that film, they're dealing with like a all-powerful, cosmic witch that summons, Enchantress that summons a giant, sky beam, and they have to deal with that. I mean, is that as grounded as compared to a cosmic starfish?
I wouldn't disagree there, but at the same time, it's at the very least rooted in some realm of earthly reality because it's based off of some form of history. Those characters specifically, like the Enchantress being a 5,000-year-old witch found in fucking wherever the fuck in the rainforest. I don't remember where exactly, but yeah.
But she was part of the original team in the runs and whatnot.
That too. That is true.
But this is where I think, again, perspective to me, yes, there's a kaiju in the Suicide Squad, but to me, I would make the argument that Amanda Waller was the antagonist because she went in to send him to do a cleanup job. It was a cover up, and to me, what I love about the Suicide Squad, it's less, and I love Sorrow, but it's less to do with that. It's the fact that the U.S. foreign policy was as dirty as it gets, and Rick Flag, the way it's presented, the epitome of like American guy, was the one wanted to be like, no, fuck that. And the fact that like, no, Peacemaker was there to be like, no, I am making sure nothing gets out. And to me, that aspect of like, U.S. foreign policy. It's not as John Wayne-y as a lot of people think of it, and I like that was, to me, that's what it felt for the Austrian stuff. Where it's like the Austrian was making them do things that was illegal, and they were putting criminals out of it. And it's like, what do you say about people who are incarcerated, and what does that say about us and the system? And to me, again, we agree to disagree. To me, that was the layers that I appreciated with the Suicide Squad, and the fact that they got. Me and Phil will probably disagree, but the fact that they got Rick Flag better in the Suicide Squad than Suicide Squad for me would matter a lot. And the fact that they gave him the fucking yellow shirt, I'm like, there's the guy I know from the books.
Yeah. I bet both versions of Suicide Squad are going to be superior to Thunderbolts, which is going to feel like Suicide Squad light when it comes.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Again,
they're not making enough noise for Thunderbolts, so that's.
I don't know because
Cap's coming out first is why.
I'm not using this as like I was there when they did it, but like me and Phil were fortunate enough to see the footage they showed at Comic-Con, which was more or less the first teaser.
Yeah. I was in Hollywood.
And like, to me, that was another silent like hit because I'm like, okay, how is that gonna go? Because the one thing I've been saying is that the Thunderbolts has the characters from their respective films and shows. Those characters have been the highlights for me out of those shows. Like to me, Yelena and Alexei were the highlights of Black Widow. Yeah. John Walker was one of the highlights with Isaiah Bradley from the Falcon Soldier. Ghost was the highlight for me of Ant-Man and the Wasp. So like it's a fascinating thing that they're taking these things that were the highlights of these shows and movies and putting them to see what now again, I know people were gonna do the Suicide comparison, but I'm like, let's see besides that what we're used to, because that's just the pop culture in us. Let's see what layers it has, and like let's see if Florence Pugh gets something new layered to these characters. Let's see if they do right by. Again, I'm being vague about it, even though we all know who he is. But like Bob, the character of Bob in that movie, for generalists who don't know who that is.
Well, I'll spoil it. It's the Sentry. Did you get to see any Sentry footage at Comic-Con?
No, but they teased it. There's shots that I'm like, they fucking teasing. You know, there's a shot of a dude walking up the staircase. Yeah, the emblem of his belt. It's like they're teasing that dude, and like I hope in this day and age, I hope they hold that for the movie.
It's funny.
I read all the Bendis stuff with Sentry up through Siege, and he might be cool. He might not. Who knows? It's a weird choice for the villain, but we'll see.
I mean, is it really even a villain? Because what's her face? Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I think, is probably going to wind up being the antagonist of the entire thing.
Valentina.
Yeah, I think it's going to be her. Also, you know, a lot of people have these criticisms of current MCU movies being too bloated with CGI, and I'm like, well, just wait till Thunderbolts, because it's not CGI. It's all practical.
Yeah, when we saw it, it was entirely practical. Like,
it's all entirely practical. All the action will be practical. They did a lot of stunts on this movie. It is likely going to rival Winter Soldier in terms of action.
If they nail it.
Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah. They'll probably put out a new trailer probably for Cap.
No.
Oh, no?
They're probably going to throw the first teaser of Fantastic Four in front of Captain America.
That makes sense.
They're probably going to reuse a footage from Thunderbolts already been shown in front of Captain America. My guess is they're probably going to do the most recent trailer that was in September.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm excited for the Fantastic Four, though. Excited for that.
Super Bowl, man.
Yeah,
that span of 7-8 weeks, 7 days, 8 days. It's like from release date to Cap Super Bowl. It's like we're gonna get a lot of stuff out of it. I think.
Hell yeah.
Well, James Gunn's gonna do his whole puppy bowl thing with Krypto.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that is all gonna be nothing but a Krypto scene. That sneak peek, whatever it is, it's gonna be entirely nothing but Krypto. Well, Krypto and Superman, I'm sure, but like it'll be very Krypto centric. I don't think it'll be some kind of massive trailer. I've seen people like try and be like, "Oh, it's gonna be this." I'm like, no, it's for the fucking puppy bowl. It's gonna be Krypto based. Oh no, it's like no. Calm yourself. It's going to be nothing more than the puppy. Just
because that's going to sell. That will sell.
Right. It is. Yeah. It's going to sell. 100%. I honestly didn't think they would do anything Superman related at the Super Bowl, but then once they put that out, I was like, oh well. Hey, I mean, it's a marketing push. Why not?
Super Bowl. I feel like it sort of lends itself to doing something.
Sure, I guess, but like the
100 million people watch it. You got to do
the
those
puppy bowl thing. I think really does lend itself better, especially when
absolutely,
when you've got a dog in the movie. Yeah, it makes sense.
Which there were so many people that were like Krypto, and then as soon as they see that trailer and they see him in the movie, I'm like, oh my god, Krypto! Oh
Yeah.
Who left?
Somebody.
Oh, I think Adam left it. Or yeah, I think he got kicked out again or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited for Superman as well. I love that trailer so much. So good.
Anybody excited for Avatar?
No.
I haven't seen the Avatar movies. I'm not seeing them.
You're not missing much.
Yeah,
It's Pocahontas, it's Dance with Wolves, the Blue Kitty Cats.
Yeah.
You know, they make $2 billion.
Well, actually, now it sounds like it's more like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Everybody makes
you're
fun of
right.
them, and then
Fire
they go,
Tribe
"Man,
and the Air
it's the
Tribe, and I'm like,
strangest
have you
popular
seen this?
phenomenon ever." But like these, like the most popular movies ever made that
Yeah.
nobody likes. I'm like, somebody likes them, but
It's
I like The Way of Water and the first one, but
I think it's our bubble. I think, and listen, you like it, whatever. But I think it's, we've seen a lot of movies, and we've seen this kind of story that they do in the Avatar film so many times, and so for us, it feels so generic. And but a lot of audiences, like, they're just captivated by the beautiful visuals. And I will say this: the movies are very pretty. I mean, James Cameron, he loves water. He makes sure that water looks great. It's just like, I just don't give a shit about these characters. I'm cheering the humans on to wipe out all the kitty cats, to be perfectly honest. But I just because it's like, you know what? I don't care. I don't know all their names.
Yeah.
You
The
got
only guy I know
Schneckles, you
who's
got
like,
Knick
"Go,
Knack,
get
and
him,
whoever.
get him."
Yes, let's go.
Paddywhack.
Yeah, whoever. Yeah,
come on, man.
like,
Planet of the Apes
all these-
taught us that, like,
I do
go
like
for
Planet of the
the alternatives, man.
Yeah,
Don't go
yeah,
for the
yeah.
humans.
I do
We
like
don't
Planet
know
of the Apes. I like the
things.
modern
How
trilogy.
dare you
And
drive
Kingdom.
Matt Reeves into this conversation?
No, because it's a similar
And
thing
his
of like the
greatness.
apes trying to
Yeah.
teach us, like, yo, stop fucking with
Apes
Mother
together
Nature.
strong.
I love that.
That was done
They're
way
great.
better. Though.
Yeah,
Yes, I agree. The apes are
Yeah.
better.
You
Movies.
know what? If they put
And also,
Koba
too-
in Avatar, I'd go watch it, dude.
Yeah,
Koba and Avatar.
interesting villain.
Yeah.
And give me more
100%.
monkeys on horsebacks with machine guns and Koba, and I'm there. Dude.
Somehow that's what they do.
I'll take a
The
blue
military
monkey.
brings
Fuck it.
Koba.
Put a monkey on
That's-
the horseback with the machine
Johnny,
gun.
you just spoiled the third act of Avatar 3. That's what's gonna happen. Koba and all these monkeys are gonna show up on horses.
Just
James
get 'em
Cameron
off.
better pay me some money. Though.
But does any
Let's
movie
go.
this year have a chance of competing with Avatar? Like, I feel like Avatar is
Like
going to
box office wise?
yeah, 1.5 billion at a minimum.
No.
This is me being reaching, but like, if anything, it'd probably be just Superman or FF that would be the closest thing to it. But like, even then, it's
What animated movies? are
Mission
coming out?
Impossible.
Oh, animated movies. What's coming out this
Final
year?
Reckoning. Mission Impossible. Final Reckoning. Could.
Zootopia 2 will probably generate some numbers.
That'll
but
be
I think-
huge.
I'm like
I bet-
Bad
I bet-
Guys
I bet
too,
Zootopia
like
does.
Gosling, Bad Guys too.
I feel like whatever the Disney animated movie, it's Zootopia, because I think the first one made like $1 billion.
It did make $1 billion.
and it was
did. I just
very
couldn't
good.
figure
There's
it
a
out.
hunger for it. I mean, Mission Impossible though. I mean, didn't the last one lost money?
Yeah, because it went
I
up
don't know.
because it came out like a week or two, either before or after Barbenheimer.
Right before,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, it did.
Yeah.
and
So
the whole
its
IMAX
box
thing. They
office-
want to move the dates.
Its
for
box
them.
office
Yeah.
got fucked because of that.
Barbenheimer
Have any
took
of the
all
Mission
the
Impossible
IMAX
films
This year,
been a
it's
billion?
got none of them have crossed $1 billion, but this year they had the
Right.
Memorial Day holiday weekend.
Right.
But the most
Yeah.
successful was Fallout, the one with the Henry Cavill.
Right.
And that
Yep.
one did that one did pretty well.
Yeah.
That also had a trailer. That
Yeah,
was
so
so
isn't the
good.
budget though like
Yeah.
400 million or something?
Yeah,
Isn't
it's
that
huge.
something? You see a report.
That's a lot.
What? How did this happen? I don't know.
I think that didn't the SAG-After strikes affect that? That was one of the movies that was affected by.
They
it,
shut
like,
down and
closed
then
down.
kind of
There you
creep
go.
back up.
They keep people on retainer, and that's what happened.
I was to say, yeah, I think Tom Cruise or something wanted them to still get paid even when they were off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list of movies coming out this year that's been confirmed. I don't think Snow White has a chance. Minecraft. No, the Minecraft movie's probably not gonna make a lot of money, but watch it for some reason overseas make a lot of money.
It's going to make money
Yeah,
because kids are going to go see that movie.
My man.
Just because we as adults are not interested in it does not mean that children who play Minecraft are not going to go see
That's
it because
real.
they are.
No, that's real.
It's gonna
Yeah,
make
that
a
is
lot
true.
of money. Yeah.
Ooh,
Is it? Do I? Go ahead.
Lilo and Stitch. That might.
okay.
I don't know. People
Maybe.
love Stitch.
The remake,
People love
right?
Stitch.
Right.
I do love Lilo and Stitch. I don't know.
What about the
Oh,
photorealistic
my
live action remake of
generation's
How to
gonna be the
Train Your
one who-
Dragon?
I was about to say How to Train Your Dragon.
That's gonna be a
Maybe.
hit.
It's probably gonna do
The
well.
teaser
It's gonna make
itself,
money,
the
but
teaser
not-
itself was good.
Oh,
gonna make
Jurassic
money, but-
Jurassic World.
No.
All the last three ones made over $1 billion.
And that one
Yeah.
opens right before Superman.
They have.
That it
all
does.
the
That
one's supposed to be
made
pretty
$1
dark.
Did the last one make $1 billion?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Yes, it
Wow,
did.
those
It-
are-
it-
All
it-
three
it-
did.
Yeah, all three in the trilogy.
Okay.
Oh, Freakier Friday, the sequel to Freaky Friday.
Stop it.
Yeah, but that's
Crazy.
streaming only. That's only on Disney Plus.
It was
I
a
was gonna
joke.
say, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Downton Abbey 3, guys.
Oh boy.
I like Downton Abbey. I don't, you know.
28 years later will not make $1 billion, but it could be the best movie of the summer.
Padding
Could be a good hit.
Millions.
Michael.
Oh,
The
Paddington
Michael
Bear,
Jackson
absolutely.
biopic. Michael.
That
could-
actually has a legitimate shot.
That
To me,
could-
Yeah,
Michael
100%.
Jackson movie definitely has a shot.
Mortal
How much
Kombat
did
2,
it-
guys.
I'm actually excited for that.
Yeah,
First one wasn't bad.
I am too.
Oh,
First one wasn't bad.
Wicked
Box
for
office
Good, the
wise,
sequel to
I
Wicked.
don't know.
That
would
one
be
also
well.
could do it.
That's-
Yeah,
I actually
mean,
just watched the first one like 2 weeks, like a week ago.
Yeah, and it's
probably
good
have
as
legs.
fuck.
Yeah.
And it's good as fuck. Right?
Yeah.
It was
Right.
good.
Yeah.
It was
right.
good. I think okay. I think Cynthia Erivo was great in it. I think Ariana Grande was bland in it.
Oh wow, I completely disagree. I was actually impressed by her.
No,
That's great, but she can only sing. She can't act for shit.
I thought her comedic
But
time was
that's
very
the
good.
character.
Have you
Like
seen
that, I
Victorious?
thought.
Phil?
That's
Added up to
great,
the
but
character.
I think she cannot act to save her
No
life.
way.
Have you seen Sam and Cat?
she was-
Yeah, have you
she
seen
was-
Sam and Cat, Phil?
I
No
have.
way.
Oh,
when I was younger.
Opinion, but wow.
It's just like she can sing. I'll give her that, but she's not
Yeah, no
Glinda the Good
facts.
Witch.
She-
IMO, she is not Glinda the Good Witch. I would have much preferred Amanda Seyfried over her.
Wow. That's a tough call.
I'm a tough critic.
Amanda.
What other
yeah.
films do you
I
got?
respect it.
That's-
I respect
I mean,
it.
that's pretty much it. Everything.
That's pretty
else
much
is
the
kind
big
of like-
ones.
Yeah, the big ones, really. I mean, there is like Ilio or something that's like a Disney Pixar. That's
It's a
coming out.
Pixar
yeah.
flick, but yeah.
Yes, I mean, I don't know.
Is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein movie coming out this year?
Yes,
It wasn't.
yes, it is.
It wasn't listed on here, but
No.
I mean, then again, I think there's a lot of stuff not listed.
Now,
I
is
do
that
believe
winning
that- that is
theatrical or is
his
it just
review.
pure Netflix?
I think that's Netflix.
This is
It's
weird.
not going to make $1 billion, but you know.
So yeah, I feel like I wish it would have the legs that like Shape of Water and Pinocchio had for him. Like,
Yeah.
But then again, it's the movie he's been wanting to make for a while. So I don't know.
I think we said
doubt
on the
it'll-
show,
it'll be
like,
$1 billion.
what Robert Eggers' Nosferatu is kind of like Guillermo getting Frankenstein. Like that's
100%.
perfect,
I hope so.
perfect match.
But what a back-to-back Pinocchio and Frankenstein, the
It's
two
in-
movies I've heard for the longest. That and At the Mountains of Madness, the ones he's been wanting to do the most.
I think he will eventually do that Mountain of Madness.
Yeah.
I think
I think
that has to happen because that like test footage came out years ago. My God,
Yeah,
it's
man.
so uncomfortable, but like he wants to do it. Ugh.
It's all about the
Damn.
flying cucumbers.
That's the thing, man.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Dynamite story.
I bet he
I love
picked
that- I love that
Frankenstein
stuff.
because that's probably the one he wanted to do more. I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he got Oscar freaking Isaac to play the
Wasn't
doctor.
there oh God, what's her name? I forget, but she's doing like the bride or something. Christian Bale's playing the
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal.
yeah, Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Maggie
She's
Gyllenhaal.
directing it. Yeah, the bride. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or tattooed so he has the or
Yeah,
Frank has
that's
the tattoos on it. It says
but hey-
love on one hand, hate on the other hand. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Look,
okay.
look, here's the thing. We've seen stuff in marketing that is questionable, but then you actually see the product and go, all right, like I don't
I hope
want
This
so.
is her directorial debut, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I think so.
Good for her. That she got.
Hey,
some
you know,
movie.
more often than not, actors turn directors usually turn out a pretty solid flick.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
More
never
often than
know.
not. But
Yeah, projects. Yeah. Christian,
I'll watch
Christian
it.
Bale, Maggie Gyllenhaal. Yeah, exactly.
I'll watch if Christian Bale's in it. I'll watch it. Hell, I sat through Thor: Love and Thunder.
Right on. He said, "Look at him, pride."
No mistake.
Hey, yeah,
It was fucking terrible, but man, he was decent in it.
he tried. He was trying. He killed one
Well-
god. He scored the God Butcher.
Well, you know, with that guy behind the camera, all you can do is try.
True story.
Especially when he's coked out of his mind directing them half the time.
Yeah.
But that's a story for another day.
Wait, she directed a movie called The Last Daughter. What's I never heard. Oh, The Lost Daughter. I never heard
Oh,
of that.
okay. I
really?
thought this was her directorial debut, but that's cool.
I didn't know that.
The Lost Daughter. Oh,
Right?
2000,
With Dakota Johnson,
2021.
I think. Yeah.
2000. Yeah. Dakota. Wait. Yeah, Dakota Johnson, Olivia Colman's in that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Okay. Paul
The
Mescal's
Olivia
in that.
Colman? That's cool.
Yeah, and Paul Mescal was in it.
Oh.
Gladiator.
Yeah, I never heard of this movie. Okay. Then again, there's so many movies that come out each year. Like it's hard to keep up with everything. It's just
Bro,
well,
seriously.
it won some awards. So it must have been something. Yeah.
You guys already kind of talked about it, but Mickey 17 coming out this year too.
Yeah.
That trailer they released today.
I chose not to watch it. I was like, the first teaser is all I need. I don't need to see anything else. I'm like,
yeah,
perfect.
And then I watched it just out of pure curiosity.
It would have
looks
copyrighted my ass if I fucking did a reaction for it.
Oh yeah, that's the only reason I didn't react to it because Warner
Brothers.
Yeah, that's all you need to say.
Bong Joon-ho, he's got chops. I've never seen his movie Memories of Murder, which apparently is his best, but I will see it before Mickey 17. But Bong Joon-ho, yeah, he's definitely got some good movies in his filmography.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he has like the dopest name, Bong Joon-ho.
Yeah. Bong Joon-ho.
That's like the dopest fucking name ever.
Yeah. And he's a nerd. Like he is a.
I know.
Nerd. Like,
oh, I love it.
When he made his Oscar acceptance speech, he was like shouting out to Scorsese, shouting out to Tarantino, like you know, genuine movie freak.
Yeah.
Did y'all say nerd?
That dude rules.
To my Draven?
No, man. What are you wearing that fucking jersey for, you fucking loser?
He's a football nerd.
Come on, I know.
Bro. Yeah, he streams in the Discord, him watching football and screaming and yelling like
wear a white T-shirt with a red tie, man. Dark, come on.
All right, bro.
All right.
God. I'll tell you, turn your light on so everyone knows.
Shit,
man, you're cool.
It's bright as fuck.
Yeah, man.
You be all right,
man.
What's up? Nothing much. Just trying to survive the cold. It's like -10 here. So
wow. Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 today at one point. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not warm.
You been
not warm.
Warm.
Well, Chainsaw, you mentioned earlier as one of the potential topics for tonight. We haven't brought it up yet, but it should bring on some conflicting points of view. Ryan Gosling, Star Wars.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, that's been brought up. Yeah, he's an actor. That's I don't. I mean, at this point, I just don't believe anything. It's just like so hard to believe anything, especially when it comes to Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah.
It's hard to believe anything. So,
if I were his agent or manager, I would say run for your life. It's career suicide.
I wouldn't say career suicide, but I would say
it is Sean Levy who made Deadpool and Wolverine. So.
He made the Atom Project, he made Deadpool, Wolverine, he made Free Guy. Sean Levy has a really great track record.
At the museum.
Lucas, thank you. Yeah, that too. Like Lucasfilm would be foolish to pass up making his movie, whatever it is. I don't care what it is, but the fact that you have Sean Levy attached to a Star Wars movie, if you didn't greenlight that yesterday, what the fuck are you doing?
But isn't this Lucasfilm's MO though? Like for the last decade, really, where it's like they have a hot director where they had like a huge success, maybe one successor in case Sean Levy's, like a number of them. And it's like, oh, we're gonna get that guy. And then he works in the film, and then it doesn't happen. And I feel like that's happened time and time again, and it's just very frustrating. So, I mean, the only thing that I'm excited about in terms of Star Wars is Andor, because I really enjoyed Andor season 1. Looking forward to season 2.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I just
Lucasfilm has shot themselves in the foot. They've got very little goodwill left. Skeleton Crew, relatively for what it was an excellent show that had horrible numbers because everyone was so burned.
I dug that show
on what the Acolyte was. I love the show, and it's like, I mean, how do you recover, man? How do you recover? Like seriously.
Well, here's the thing. To me, and again, Sean Levy wants to do Star Wars. I'm about it, but here's the thing. And to me, and Phil knows this, I'm a big Star Wars fan. Do I put out 20 videos a day of saying what the fuck is going on? No, I don't.
He's going to Celebration.
I know. Yeah,
he's going to Celebration, which is
so.
Nice.
Yes, I am. Which God help my wallet. But to me, at this point, for a lot of these projects that are being like greenlit, rumored, until I see a teaser. Sure. And even then, I'm like, then I'll fully get behind that one. Like to me, I'm still waiting for patiently, mind you. Again, for a lot of audiences, I'm from an era where I have to wait three years for a Star Wars movie to come out. So I could wait.
I waited 16 between Jedi and Phantom Menace. So
there you go. Okay.
I was gonna say he had to head out and I was gonna have him shout out his stuff. But yeah, Mr. Know-It-All had to go.
That's a shame.
Good luck to you, man.
I also have to go. It is past my bedtime.
Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Much love. Take care.
Have a good night.
Take care.
Good meeting you.
Thanks for being on, man. See ya.
But yeah, to me, a lot of this stuff, I'm waiting till I see a teaser. Like right now, the things they've announced that I'm still waiting to see a result of is Dave Filoni's movie, the Ray movie, and James Mangold's Star Wars movie. Like that was the last thing at an event that they announced.
Yeah, they got way too many movies that are announced and way too few movies that feel tangible.
Yeah, and like at this point, I'm like, you know what? Cool, it's in the mix, but in a non-egoistic way, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and again,
yeah, I think
Mando's the only one right now that like was a left field, well, not a left field, but like one that just got announced about a year and a half ago. I'm like, all right, I believe that just because you have a show that brought in new energy for that franchise, there's no way they will just shelve that movie into production, especially with stuff that's been coming out of recently. But again, in April, a lot can change. In April, I would not be surprised if they reaffirm or confirm some of this stuff that's been coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah, and I think if you've got, the fact that there's someone in talks to join a Sean Levy Star Wars film would lead credence to the idea that this thing is likely more farther along than a lot of people want to assume that it is. Look, I get the hesitation, sure. People tell me all the time they don't like the Acolyte. I'm like, well, that's their prerogative. That's fine. But you can't sit here and say, I want something different. Then when you get something different, you can't bitch and whine about it because that's what they did half the time. That's a whole different conversation. Anyway, back to the movie point of things. I think Ronan's onto something where they've got, certain stuff in the barrel, right? And you've got like attached goodwill to certain things with the barrel. Like case in point, Jon Favreau doing a Mando movie. Yeah, that's a pretty easy thing to do because you have 3 seasons of The Mandalorian already in your back pocket. That's a built-in audience right then and there, on top of the fact that it's got Star Wars. That movie's going to make money when it comes out. It's going to be interesting to see how it fares against Avengers at the box office. Yeah. If it even keeps that release date. I honestly think they're going to push that thing to December. I think it's going to hit December 2026. I think they are going to push that movie out 6 months and continue the trend of keeping Star Wars as a Christmas extravaganza. That's what I think is going to happen on that front. But the fact that you've got this article from Variety touting, Ryan Gosling's in talks to star in a Sean Levy Star Wars film, that to me is at least some kind of indicator of like, yeah, this thing probably could be a lot farther along than a lot of people would like to assume. Now, as far as Dave Filoni, his movie, yeah, that's probably going to happen. He's chief creative officer at Lucasfilm. What he says fucking goes. That's pretty easy. And the fact that they are already gearing up for Ahsoka season 2, would not be surprised if his film happens after all of this shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the be all end all.
That's exactly right. And as far as the Rey movie is concerned, I wouldn't be shocked one bit if Simon Kinberg's trilogy and that movie end up morphing into that first movie of that trilogy. Wouldn't shock me.
Forgot about Kinberg. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Kinberg. Hey, say what you will, the man knows his Star Wars. He did Rebels.
He did Rebels. Yeah.
He did Rebels.
Was he a writer on that?
He wrote every episode. Yes.
All five
He's not only is he a writer, he's a co-creator on that.
I know he's a co-creator, but I don't know how involved he was.
A lot of The Apprentice he wrote. The Vader duel, he wrote that with.
Okay. Yeah.
He had input, but like he wrote that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Say what you will about Simon Kinberg. Homeboy knows fucking Star Wars.
Yeah.
X-Men. I'm still recovering from Dark Phoenix, but
yeah. Hey, you know what? He took that movie to the fucking finish line amidst so much chaos. Props to him. That's more than I can say for Bryan fucking Singer.
Yeah, and like, yeah.
I mean, look, and also when it comes
was it on Apocalypse where Bryan Singer basically just vanished?
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah,
does it a lot
in Bohemian Rhapsody and in Rhapsody, same thing too. Yeah.
And the thing is like when Dark Phoenix failed, Simon Kinberg actually one of the few directors come out and be like, "Yeah, I'll own it. That was me. That was my movie." How often does a director fucking do that?
Cojones.
Yeah. Rarely.
And on top of that, when you have one idea for a movie and then that gets completely fucked because the House of Mouse bought Fox, it'd be a miracle to get that movie to the fucking finish line the way he did.
That and New Mutants. Those were the two that were like
in the
shuffle that. Yeah.
But when I see people online just taking a shit on Simon Kinberg when it comes to Star Wars, I'm like, you don't fucking understand jack shit about this man's career, and it shows. You're all bitching about X-Men, and that's all I ever see. People bitching and moaning and crying, oh, he fucking ruined X-Men, oh, he fucking fucked Dark Phoenix, oh, he fucking... Shut the fuck up. People never made a fucking movie in your fucking life.
If he got to fuck Dark Phoenix, I'm jealous. So,
well, all the X-Men talk has summoned him. He is here. Jake.
I was literally
yeah, literally.
It sounds like a call for.
Sounds like a call for the Jake.
Previously on X-Men.
Hey, that X-Men issue sold 7 million copies back, summer 91?
Yep. Yep. And I hate to break it to you guys, but Magneto was right.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
Yep. But yeah, no, I agree with Phil's point completely. Whenever you have a director that's able to come back and like own their failures, and I say failures loosely because he really had no other way to bring that movie to the end. I mean, that takes guts, and not everybody has those guts.
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff that they were going to do in that movie that Captain Marvel was already doing.
Right.
So
yeah, they were gonna do the scrolls, and then Captain Marvel came out, and then they had to readjust.
Yeah.
And then that whole train sequence at the end, that was all done in reshoots. So
but the early 90s animated series actually did a pretty good version of the Phoenix Saga. I mean, it was just like bits and pieces, but for people who love the original Chris Claremont, John Byrne Phoenix Saga from like 101 up through 137, the animated series actually did a not half bad job of Jean Grey's
within season.
The biggest thing that they succeeded, they had a whole season to tell that story because you had a 5-part Phoenix arc in the beginning, then that whole third season, which I'm pretty sure that third season was the longest of the original run, and then they ended it with a 5-part Dark Phoenix arc. So they got to tell the whole story,
and that's how you got to do it. You got to tell it slowly. It's a gradual transformation.
Yeah,
I remember even when they asked John Byrne,
you can't have that as the B plot for a movie.
Yeah, I remember they were asking John Byrne. I'm like, "What do you think of Dark Phoenix again?" He's like, "Listen, I don't know how you could do 2 hours. What took us 2-3 years?
It took them years to do it.
Yeah.
That's got to be like, and I would be really happy if whenever it comes to X-Men, if they wait a good number of years before even attempting to do that again.
Yeah.
But when they come around to it, that's got to be like your Infinity War Endgame movie length, or potentially even bigger if you're going to do the whole thing.
And then you got to do an extension with Madeline Pryor as the Goblin Queen. You can do all the redheaded stories for years on end, but you just got to find the right creative team.
Yeah,
I think when it comes to the X-Men and the Marvel Universe, number one, a few of them have already been introduced. Doesn't matter what you feel or how you say it. Facts are facts. Fucking Deadpool and Wolverine are in the MCU, as are a couple other characters from the X-Men side of things. But when because we all know Secret Wars is just basically going to soft reboot a lot of shit for them, i.e. probably the X-Men. So I think when it comes to the X-Men and the MCU, we're probably going to get some things that are similar and staple with the X-Men. Like you're for sure probably going to see like Charles Xavier and Magneto, and they are going to be at odds end. What kind of story they choose to tell, that's the fucking question. Because I guarantee you could maybe see Sentinels. You're not seeing Apocalypse. You're definitely not getting Dark Phoenix. I'm not sure about Genosha. Maybe that's a maybe.
Maybe
that's a maybe.
Especially with after 97,
I would actually like to see them maybe do some modern stuff and maybe go Krakoan with it, but.
Go into like the Shadow King astral plane stuff because that's barely been explored in other media.
Yeah.
So.
What about Arcade? He always had a bunch of great storylines back in the day.
I mean, honestly, I could easily see them. I think X-Men 97 was kind of testing the waters for how people feel about the X-Men. I could easily see the first X-Men movie villain under Marvel Studios be Mr. Sinister because he's not been used yet.
And another thing that series did that the movies really didn't do for the longest time. This series existed without Wolverine as the front and center. He was still there, but he was not the front and center like the movies made him. And maybe a bold statement here. I would not be upset if in the first lineup of X-Men in the movies, I would not be upset if Wolverine's not there. Is it going to happen? Probably, but I would not be upset if he wasn't there.
Yeah, I would put money on that right now. I'd be like, you know what? Do like in the comics, I'm like, just do the team first. And if you need to put something Wolverine out related, do a Marvel special for an hour. Get somebody, put them up in Canada, and just do a mission in Canada. And then you start teasing that, you know what? He might go to New York and he might bump into this
Ryan Reynolds said it.
Right, because say what you will about Matthew Vaughn, X-Men First Class worked without Wolverine.
Yeah.
Except he was in there for 20
or he said "fuck you" or what?
Fuck yourself. Fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. That's what he said. Yeah.
Which is like the best.
I keep rooting for a Brood storyline. There was a great arc that was drawn by Mark Silvestri, like in the late '80s, where the Brood landed on Earth and started infecting mutants. And it only lasted, I think, 3 issues. It was dark and it was cool. And yes, Colossus was like snapping people's necks. I mean, it was killer.
This might be a stretch, but they really wanted to, they could try and pull off Onslaught.
Which they've been teasing.
I feel like
X-Men 97's going that route.
I feel like they're heading in that direction.
Yeah.
Or you know
with
what?
X-Men 97, definitely.
As long as they followed up with Heroes Reborn and the big titty Captain America drawn by Rob Liefeld and all that good stuff.
You know,
I'm making camera.
I instantly knew what you're talking about. I don't know why I
was
knew
saying this
instantly.
too, whenever season 1 of 97 ended, because like I don't know if this is a popular theory or not, but you know, there's that whole question of, you know, like who spread them across time and all that. The big theory is that it's Apocalypse. If you guys remember the original series, when you saw like that, I don't know what they called it, but that void area where you saw all those mutants in the background, but none of them had speaking roles. They were just all there. Strife was among that crowd, so maybe they'll bring Strife into the big role in some way.
Oh, probably.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah, there's so much.
Especially with how Nathan Summers' focus season 1 was.
There's so much you can pull from that lore, and again, it's like we've been saying, Phoenix. Wait on that. Apocalypse. Wait on that. Like, look at what else is rich in that lore, and just lean into it. And again, I'm not expecting a one-on-one thing from the '60s till now of an adaptation. I'm like, no, find what fits.
What if they did Mr. Sinister and the Marauders and the Mutant Massacre? I mean, it would be vicious and savage and dark. But that was like when I was 10, the Mutant Massacre unfolded, and I spent years recovering from that story. It was fucking amazing.
You know what's weird is that like I know they did it as X2, which is basically they adapted God Loves, Man Kills, but I would even do that. You don't even have to do a big Sentinel thing on that. I'm like, just do the first movie is God Loves, Man Kills.
Great graphic novel.
And just just do that. Like, you want to know why we're doing the X-Men, why we need them, why they're popular, and why they're still relevant. Boom, just do that. And it's simple.
I would love Sentinels. I want Sentinels. Like, I feel like the way they were handled in
the allegory,
the Fox stuff, it just and Days of Future Past, I understand that route, but I love the classic Sentinels that we saw in 97, and we saw, of course, in the pilot, well, the second pilot of X-Men 90, you know, the X-Men original series.
Yep,
that's perfect. Just do that. Do Master Mold. I think that'd be a perfect introduction to the mutants in this new era. Just do Sentinels.
And it would kind of set the stage because, you know, like it would really kind of give you the roots of who the X-Men are. I mean, they were made as a metaphor for racial tensions at the time. People didn't like them. People didn't understand them. They were kind of shunned by the world, and these Sentinels were made to wipe them out. So they would fit in that world if you're trying to establish them that way.
Funny you mentioned that, because given our current political landscape, now is actually the prime time for X-Men to make a reappearance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Say no more.
But they're relevant in any era. From the 60s to the present day.
You're not wrong.
Yes,
the X-Men always kick ass.
Right.
Yeah. That's the beauty, right? Like, there's something behind it, and yet it's still a fun adventure story that anybody can follow. And it's like, oh, that's what that meant. Okay.
Yeah, it was great when Stan Lee did it. It was great when Chris Claremont did it. It was great when Grant Morrison was writing it. And it was great when Joss Whedon was writing it. There are a ton of writers who have left their fingerprints on the X-Men, but in any era, somebody's managed to make them seem fucking cool again.
I'm even liking what Gail Simone is doing now. Like, I'm behind on that stuff, but like, I when they put her as the writer, I'm like, oh, that makes sense, because I saw a little bit of that vibe with her Domino Hot Shots books, and I was like, okay, I think I know where you're going with this. I'm like, all right, cool. I like this.
I like how we didn't mention Mark Waid among X-Men writers.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No, Grant Morrison cooked with new X-Men. New X-Men was
yeah. That's what got me back into buying monthly books in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I'd kind of faded on buying monthly books, but as soon as Frank Quitely and Grant Morrison got on board on new X-Men, I was like, ooh.
It's funny, like,
comic shop on Wednesdays from now on.
When I first became aware of Frank Quitely's artwork, it wasn't even X-Men. It was Batman and Robin Reborn. I was like, this art looks dope as fuck.
Yeah, it was great.
Someone I know was like, oh, have you ever read New X-Men? I said, no, what's that? And they were like, Grant Morrison, Frank Quitely. I said, say no more.
Yeah.
I love Frank Quitely's Batman art, but I wasn't the biggest fan of his new X-Men art. I thought it was okay.
Shut your fucking mouth.
You're wrong.
Shut your fucking mouth right now.
I enjoyed the art, but it wasn't my favorite. I feel like it had gotten better before that.
He even did get some good stuff on The Authority after Brian Hitch moved on from the book.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yes, he did. My main issue with the Frank Quitely X-Men art is that they all just kind of looked, for lack of a better word, samey, I guess. Is that they had difficulties popping up.
I'm gonna slap the fucking shit out of you.
What are you laughing at, Dre?
I have no idea.
I'm getting sound bites in my head right now that I'm getting set up.
Oh,
Shut your whore fucking mouth. I'm gonna.
Oh,
my country's name
Out your
mouth.
Are you recording this for?
No,
soundbites?
no. I'll just get it later.
Okay, I'll just get it later.
That's amazing.
Of course you will.
Yeah, that's God.
Well, that's what's great about the modern age. These comics used to take place in the direct market, like in a comic shop, in a supermarket, like in a strip mall or whatever. And like there'd be 5 people that go there every week and argue about this stuff. But now the whole world gets to see just how deep down the rabbit hole comic book games go.
Right.
Hell, I have a comic shop about a mile from me that has a free comic book day every Wednesday, every week.
I used to work at one. Worst experience of my life.
Yeah,
Why?
working at one is not great. I've been there
it's
too.
not.
Why was it not? Why was it the worst experience, Phil?
Nepotism.
I
heard stories of that.
I already understand.
Shop owner,
I wasn't
shop son.
expecting that answer.
Need I say more? That's about it.
Nope.
Not a problem with the shop owner. Definite problem with the owner's son. He was kind of a jackass.
Joffrey.
More or less.
Joffrey. That's a pull right there.
But yeah, man, like Frank Quitely is like a fucking legend amongst like X-Men fans. He's the
Not to
shit.
Jake.
Well, doesn't matter to him. Nothing matters when it comes out of his mouth. Come on, we know why.
But that story arc with the students revolt and take over
Yes!
the school was so
Yes!
goddamn good.
Oh my god!
Everyone's turning it out tonight. Jesus.
And they're all hyped up on that fucking damn it, what is it called? It's
some sort of drug that they smoke.
Yeah.
Emma Frost was like, I had to try it as well, just for sheerly like research purposes or academic purposes. But
it's like, yeah, sure you did, Emma.
Yeah, it jacks up your powers and makes you get a little psycho.
Yeah.
So,
and
Phil's
then like
quietly your favorite X-Men artist?
The whole reveal of the fucking metal character. Oh damn it! What was the character's name? Basically, you find out it's Magneto. It's a fucking.
Oh, it was Zorn, but it turned out
Zorn.
to be
Zorn. When Zorn is revealed to be Magneto, I was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like this is the
Spoiler
shit I've seen in a comic in fucking ages.
Spoiler.
Yeah. And when they had that as a skin for Magneto in the Ultimate Alliance game, I was like, holy shit, that is a deep cut.
That is very deep.
Shit.
Yeah, but Grant Morrison only wrote like 25 or 30 issues or so, but it was a pretty goddamn good period. Yeah. And then they went straight into Joss Whedon with Astonishing X-Men right after.
Let's not talk about that.
Spoiler.
Yeah,
I love
please,
that run.
please.
He brought back Colossus. He brought back Colossus.
I love that run, man.
Yeah.
One of the funniest pages I've ever seen. Fucking Kitty Pryde waking up. Peter follows her. Logan's at the table eating cereal and looks up.
About time.
It says about time, and it's just like, oh,
Yep.
Smell the sex on him.
yeah.
Spoiler.
Very
Well, throughout the 80s,
Y'all are spoiling stuff. Jesus.
throughout the 80s,
Very-
it was like, will they or will they not? But then during
Yeah.
Secret Wars, Peter or Colossus fell in love with this alien chick and broke Kitty's heart. And so it took decades for them to finally, satisfy their cravings. And yeah, it was
It
long.
was
Arno
satisfy.
Very apropos for
Oh,
Joss.
shit.
You tired there, Draven?
I'm a bit tired.
He's pumped. For
Oh, a
X-Men.
bit tired.
I'm feeling like falling asleep on stream. I'm not gonna lie.
You've done
That
it
would
like
be
what,
apropos.
twice now or 3 times now?
Yeah,
Three.
like 3 times.
3
It's like a
times.
bit. All right. All right, let's be quiet for a few minutes. Let's let Draven.
No.
Oh, okay. Everybody's be quiet a little bit.
He's gonna fall asleep one way or the other. We already
Are
know
you
this.
tired, Johnny?
If-
You've not
if-
you've
if
not you've not
falls
spoken much.
He's talking to his girl, bro.
Oh,
He's cupcaking.
you texted your girl right now?
A little bit.
He's cupcaking.
Did you send her a
Every
link
time
to
he looks
watch?
down, he's
No.
Did you send her a link to watch? Like, hey, honey, you should watch me on the show.
Oh God, no,
Yeah,
Johnny, no.
Oh,
Hey, let's hope we
I
didn't send her the actual
my
stream
my
yard
wife
link.
my wife asked me when I'm gonna get invited to council. She can listen to it because it's boring, so she can fall asleep.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, she doesn't like movies that much, so
Okay.
it's fair.
Well, hey, at least we have another viewer who's just like watching it.
Yeah,
That's
no,
fine.
she'll
Yep.
tune in to
You know
fall
what? It's
asleep.
free view.
That's free view, you know.
Supporting brother.
Supporting brother. Jesus.
Oh,
Johnny, you should send her a link so she can watch.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Just don't send her the actual StreamYard link.
No, yeah. Bring her in here.
send her
Yeah,
the
let's
stream right
let's
now.
bring her in. Yeah. Exposing all the dark
If
secrets.
I
What
say a
is
magic
wrong?
word, would you send her the link?
Huh?
The magic word.
We know
Yeah.
what Phil's magic word is.
What magic word are you talking about?
Tee.
When you put it that way.
Yeah, my safe words don't stop. Yeah.
There were like 3 other ways I was thinking.
How
it was
is that
gonna
a
go.
safe word?
What? What? Safe word.
I like him. He can stay.
Oh wow. No, I still like how Phil said it that one time.
Which time?
The inside jokes.
New Year's stream.
Oh, shit! We try to forget about that stream.
That was a bad one. Yeah,
that was
okay. Yeah, it was kind of.
We were drinking, stuff happened.
I wasn't drinking. That was
no. I said people were drinking. Some people were drinking. I know Johnny was.
Yeah, I was drinking.
I only had 2 shots.
And, and we saw what kind of chaos that brought.
I had half of
fucking lightweight.
I wasn't even drunk, bro. I was.
He wasn't drunk yet.
I was expressing my feelings.
Yeah, we know.
And that's what I did.
You sure did. You sure did.
Mic drop.
Well, he's young, so the liquor hits him pretty hard, pretty fast.
So I want to ask this to James up there. I want to ask, do you happen to have a copy of this?
Here we go. Here we go.
Of course it is.
Weren't we just doing this in Discord like an hour ago?
Wait. What was happening in the Discord?
We were
we
sharing comics.
Yeah.
we
were sharing Daredevil books because Draven was watching Daredevil.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I want to know how I got this hat.
What's the title of the story?
Jake, there's a light on it. There's a light on it. You're like, the camera is not very good.
Feared and hated.
I don't think I've not read that arc.
So it's the tie-in book for the '90s cartoon.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Yeah. I know Ronan said he got that first issue. Is that it?
Yeah, I got the first issue. Yeah.
I would recommend trying to pick up the whole one if you can.
Draven, if you want to fall asleep now, you can.
Only when Jake talks.
Hey,
no, it's usually whenever we talk about
like 20 minutes and he was wide awake. He has no fucking excuse.
It's true. Very true. He does not.
This is what I deal with every.
Welcome to the bar, fellas.
Hey,
yeah. This is like every week or like every day in Discord. Yeah, this is what it is. It's really unfortunate.
It's very true.
If only you could have these interactions with your coworkers.
If only.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you. So last week, one of the high school interns, she's like, so you do your show every Wednesday, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, could I like, should I watch that? I'm like, no.
Don't
watch that. No.
18 and over.
If you
MD and I.
Yeah.
Yep. Because we never mind.
Yeah. I mean, I've told my boss.
No.
That, I told my boss
sentence.
I'm not finishing that sentence.
No, finish your sentence. Go ahead, finish that sentence.
Because we know what happens when that rule is not listened to.
Yes, we do. Don't we, Draven?
We really know what.
Wait, what did I do?
We really know what Jake wants to do.
Not you.
We know what Jake really wants to do, though. We know what sentence he would really want to finish. We know what that is.
Well, to be fair, he is wearing all black, so
the house next door to me was sold.
So Johnny recently had a birthday on January 6th. Jake, where were you January 6th, 2021?
Wow.
Where?
Not in my house, I'll tell you that.
No, I'll tell you exactly where I was. I was scared out of my life because I was streaming on YouTube, and the chapter of the Fire Emblem game that I was playing was storming the Capitol. He was
scared. He was scared to death because he was going to get trampled over other people getting inside.
And I'm not joking about that either. That was the name of the chapter, word for word.
There's a photo of Jake in someone's office holding up a sign or some shit.
Yeah, guys, I commandeered Musk's office. It's actually my office.
You know,
that's January 6th definitely needed a Magneto was right T-shirt in the crowd.
Yes,
somewhere.
it did.
That would be funny.
Amen.
Amen to that.
God, I love that.
Well, Jake, I'm glad you're here, man, because Trump just pardoned you, so I'm glad you're here, man. I'll be here to cut with.
You know,
Again?
Never mind. Never mind. Nope.
Oh. Sorry, I had it. Since you were saying he was already there. Like,
all right, I own all this.
Hey, Johnny,
you did start this. Yeah, slide yourself on the wrist.
It's my fault.
Johnny, you look tired, man. You okay?
Yeah, I am tired. I got back from the gym.
Okay.
Dude, I went to the gym too. You don't see me yawning.
I didn't yawn, but I am
fucking pussy.
Now, okay, Johnny, how many cuts today? How many cuts?
2. Slow down.
Just 2?
Yeah, just slow down.
All right.
Yeah. Last week was my busiest week yet, though.
Oh.
It's supposed to be the slow season, so that was a weird kind of peak. But
Oh, see, I heard cut. I thought he meant like cutting food, like because he was going to the gym. I'm such an idiot.
I mean,
We already know that.
prepping now, so I did.
He's
make
cutting
some-
food.
I did cut some food.
Good.
So
did I.
Cut some
Yeah.
chicken.
yeah, I made some
Cut some
salad.
rice.
I
Yeah.
made some chicken and rice.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
What kind of seasoning on that chicken?
Dry.
It's like a Mexican chicken and rice. So I did like
Oh.
beans, tomatoes,
you're cool.
onion, pepper.
That's hot.
Cumin, cayenne.
Welcome to the
watch
Food
out.
Network Council bit
I'm-
here.
I'm
Yeah.
big.
watch out, Gordon Ramsay.
Put me on Beat Bobby Flay, dude.
Ooh.
Nice.
Gordon
I can
Ramsay's got
make,
nothing on you.
Watch
Yeah, I
out,
can make
Gordon Ramsay.
cereal, bro.
Are those red pants?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
red
drip.
pajama pants.
That's
My dog
not
might have
drip,
pissed
brother.
on the floor.
Your dog
What?
pissed on the floor.
I'm looking.
We see
I think
steps
he
in it.
pissed
Yeah,
on the
and
floor.
your
My
dog.
dog might have pissed on the floor. I
Yeah,
gotta go
and
let my
your-
dogs out, bro.
Your dog looks happy as fuck to have pissed on that floor too.
That's his cover for saying that he just pissed in his diaper and it stinks.
Oh, look at your pupper.
It's crypto.
Now, question: your dogs keep pissing and shitting in your house. Are they not trained?
No, they're trained.
No, they're
Evidently
not.
not.
They're peeing
What
and
the hell
they're
are you
shitting and
feeding?
pissing on
They're
the
not
floor.
actually
Then-
pissing.
What the hell are you feeding them then?
But you
think
just
this
check
guy
to see for
trains
piss.
dogs?
You know they've
Apple
got
juice.
classes for that, right?
She is shaking right now, though. So
I'd be shaking too. I wouldn't want to be on here either. I don't blame her.
fuck you guys.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
The
That's a
only one she
soundbite.
likes is probably Jake.
See, that time it actually made sense that he roasted all of us because we were all clowning on him.
Well, that's true. Another dog. How many dogs are in
Yeah,
there?
Jake doesn't like this one.
Jake doesn't like that one for sure. That's true. How many dogs
hey guys,
are in
would you
that
believe
room?
me if I said Black Dog is my favorite Led Zeppelin song?
Oh, a third dog. There's a third dog now.
Bro, you have like a clown car
Which
full of
which
dogs?
one
What the fuck is
pissed?
happening?
If one of them's gonna pee,
Johnny,
which
he
one?
sleeps
None
in
of them
that
pissed.
Okay, question. If
He
one of them
is.
if one of them did, which one would you assume it is?
Uh,
Hey, I think they're like, what's the culprit?
You don't want to sell them out?
definitely the black one. Well,
Of course it did.
Wow.
Of course.
You fucking bastard.
You should have
You
let
judge
Jake
right
answer that
themselves.
one.
No, Willow, she like happy peas all the time. So
Yeah, my
Oh,
dog
dude,
does that
I
too
know.
sometimes.
I used to. My best.
You used to
friend-
do that?
No, my best friend from kindergarten had a dog that used to do that. He had a little corgi named Star. We used to call her Wiggle Piss. Every time she wiggled, she'd get happy and piss.
No,
saw
God,
Jake that.
A couple times.
my junior year of high school, we were getting out to the park for a little end of year celebration. This girl from our grade brings
shit.
her dog there,
Eating at the park.
and my buddy Connor had never held a dog before, never lived with one in his life. So it was like a small little Tasmanian devil dog. So he was holding it, everything was fine. All of a sudden, he looks down and he goes, "Why are you sweating so much? I'm the one that's nervous." And I just start laughing my ass off. He looks over, he goes, "What are you laughing at me for?" I was like, "Connor, dogs don't sweat." And this was the look on his face. I was
peed all over
laughing
him?
my ass off. Yes, it sure did. Ugh.
That's
Oh,
hilarious.
so you want to know what happened with not my dog, but the other dog that's here?
Sure.
So not Larry, not Curly, but
she got put
No.
down.
No.
What
No.
happened?
Damn.
What happened? What happened? What
so-
happened? What happened?
So Mo's here. Mo came over. He was chilling on the couch for an hour. He gets up off the couch, walks around, turns around on our thankfully wooden floor, vomit all over.
Oh, that's
God.
nice.
And
Easy cleanup.
what did you feed that dog?
here's the thing: we
Easy
didn't feed it
cleanup.
shit.
Fuck off.
So the what was in it was like some sort of rice, some sort of vegetables. Wife cleaned it up. She's calling her mom like, "Hey, what did you feed him? Because he just barfed everywhere on the floor. Thankfully, not on the carpet or anything, but on the wooden floor.
Yeah.
I didn't feed him anything. Are you fucking what?
What?
She's like, well, he had dog food before he came over. There was no dog food in that. That was all like food he's not supposed to be having in general, anyways. And she's like, "Oh no!" I'm like, "Oh my god,
Oh,
okay."
no.
Now we gotta deal with this shit. So he thought he was in trouble for the rest of the night till I come up here. I'm like, "Well, no, you're not in trouble, but the fuck are you doing? Like, it's not his fault, but
Yeah.
she feeds him shit all the time he's not supposed to."
People keep leaving.
Who does?
Alan had to take off. He
Oh.
sent a message while you were
Yeah, put it
talking.
private, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Oh, thanks,
Take
for,
care,
Thanks
Alan.
for being here, man. Appreciate it, man. That's cool, man. I'll message him later. That's cool. But I was like, yeah. But yeah, so that was frustrating. So yeah, but whatever.
Well,
You guys up top are getting like a lot of the lore, by the way.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of new. Like this is
where I'm learning so much.
This is pretty much what the second half of the show is.
Gotcha.
This is what Nick and Knight wish they could have been.
Yeah, and this is what the Discord is. So
this is what Adult Swim.
These are all regulars down here.
Yep.
These are all regular.
This is what Adult Swim said no to.
Yeah, no, we're not doing it. Yeah. It's been fun.
Man.
It's been fun.
Yeah. No. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
Of course.
I'm heading out for the night. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Again,
Bye.
Chris.
Hey,
Bye.
Chris.
See you later.
See ya. Now we have one left. One left. Thanks for being here, man.
Is that my subtle cue to get the fuck out of here?
No, man. No, man.
You-
I just appreciate that all the new people that came on seemed like everyone was having a fun time. You know.
Oh yeah, it was a great conversation. Great group of people, and so yeah, much obliged for the invite.
Of course, yeah, man. That's
It's
what
got
we
a
do.
hilarious visual in my head. If
Oh,
we
no.
put
That's
James at the
great.
center of the screen, because we were talking about X-Men a little bit ago. If he just put his hands up and goes to me, my X-Men.
Absolutely.
Oh god.
Just
Me, my
me,
X-Men.
X-Men. Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
Chuck!
since Jake is the aforementioned X-Men expert, who is who if James is Professor X? Who is who of the panel?
Fuck. Okay, hold on.
Give him like an hour.
Oh, we're gonna
on.
hit the
Oh,
Snyder
right
Cut
now,
length
here's
of
one
this
bar.
question.
You can't name yourself as Wolverine. We know you're not that cool.
All right, go down the list. Go down the list. Go.
I wasn't gonna name myself as Wolverine anyway.
Good.
Okay.
All right, go down the list. Make it snappy.
Draven is Morph.
I love more.
I don't even know who that is, but based on the
not
reaction,
see-
I'm assuming that's not good.
in like the first season of X-Men.
Okay.
Okay.
He doesn't die, but you
Technically.
know,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Johnny.
Wolverine.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Wait, Johnny, how tall are you?
6'1", 6'2", and
No.
Oh, I take
Not
that back. He can't be Wolverine.
Fuck.
I was gonna say either Wolverine or Gambit for him.
I like a
think
Gambit.
Gambit.
Okay, Gambit's good.
For
I care about Daddy
Phil-
Dick. Ready?
There you go.
Make a name for myself. Yeah.
Phil.
White Snoop Dogg.
No.
Oh.
God, no. No, not anymore.
You know-
not after the
Kitty
20th, no.
Pryde.
Nope.
Kitty Pride.
Out of everybody here, out of all of us, Phil would be the most appropriate for Cyclops. Out of all of us, I feel.
I'm no leader.
Could be.
No.
No.
That's you.
Hey, I
That's
didn't.
you.
Wait. Does that mean you're the Bryan Singer Cyclops then?
No.
Anyway.
Wow.
Wait. No, you're actually because of your knowledge and all that. You have a deep cut knowledge. That would probably make you Beast then,
Hank?
because of your deep cut knowledge.
Okay, Beast.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
I can take that.
Then
Nicholas
then
Hoult.
by that logic, we'll give Chainsaw the Cyclops role. Ronan.
I know. I think I know.
Wolverine.
I think Ronan should be Beast.
Then who
Bill
am I?
Beast, dude.
Then, I mean,
Oh.
honestly, I don't disagree with that. I think actually Ronan makes a much
Yeah,
better Beast because he's
Ronan
got
probably
the
would be,
beard
yeah.
and the knowledge for it.
Yeah.
He knows more about X-Men than I do anyway.
Who would Phil be then?
And he
Look
looked
up.
pretty
Actually,
cute if
no.
he was blue.
Actually, nope. I got an idea.
Oh boy, what's he gonna do?
It's Phil Bobby Drake.
Iceman?
Oh,
Drake.
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 I would have taken Magneto, but I'll take Iceman.
Well, I wasn't even thinking Magneto. You can claim that one if you want to. I mean, he's in
No,
action,
no.
for God's-
No,
he's in-
Iceman's
I'm
pretty
fucking
fitting. I'm a
Morph.
cold son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, not Morph.
You look like Morph, though. That's why. Yeah.
What does that make me then?
Bitch boy.
Wow.
I don't know. So honestly, the one I was thinking of in my head. I mean, I don't have white hair,
God, here we
but
go.
white hair notwithstanding, I was thinking Cable.
You're not from the future, and you're not an Omega level mutant, so no.
Then I make a cut.
Neither are you then, and
no
you were
pressure.
claiming to be Magneto.
Yeah, but I took Iceman.
Okay.
Who's that spell?
I will-
Nightcrawler.
No. He doesn't. He does not have the religious
Toad.
background.
Who's the guy with
nor
the wings?
accents.
Toad.
Warren Warren Worthington? Are you fucking serious?
No.
I am not
no,
Warren
no.
Worthington. No fucking way.
What about Colossus, Peter?
Colossus.
He's not Russian.
No.
No, I'm not Russian.
Protein bar.
Hold the fuck up. Wait, is he at work? Are you at work right now?
I am at work.
He is at work.
Okay.
He is at work.
Wait, okay.
Oh,
You guys can take with this what you will.
Forge.
Oh boy, here we go.
Jake is Forge.
Okay, Forge. Okay, but what's
I
who's
can see
Mike?
that.
Does that make Mike Bishop?
Yes.
Mike is Bishop from the X-Men.
Mike is 100% Bishop.
You're
Yeah.
Bishop.
Oh, okay. I'm down with that.
Okay.
I love the hard hat, man.
But I'm more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the approved.
No, Phil died at that.
3 a.m. today, actually. So.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Damn,
it's
man.
funny.
Oh, Phil, somebody said they see you as Colossus. I don't see that at all.
Oh, actually, I think I can do Bishop too. I think I got the headband. I just need the M.
You got the do-rag.
I don't know who said they see Phil as Colossus,
It's
but
flapping.
I
It's flapping.
Yeah, I'm not that tall. I'm
Yeah,
only
flapping.
5'10".
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see Jen and Mike, and I'm saying this as a comment. I can see you both as either Bishop or Nightcrawler. I think you have it in there.
I've been
Okay.
told
Yeah.
Nightcrawler
Wait,
too.
so
Yeah.
if
I take that
none
as
of
a
us on the
compliment. Thank
screen
you.
are Wolverine, who in the server would be Wolverine?
I'm Wolverine. What the fuck? I'm fucking
No,
Wolverine.
you're beast.
Yeah, you're beast. Wolverine.
Well,
You know who isn't Wolverine? You know
Who?
who is not Wolverine?
Mike.
That bitch Ryan.
I was thinking that. Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, so then since I'm tall, I'm Hugh
I
Jackman.
do want to say one thing though.
Yeah.
Okay, that I can get down with.
First of all, James, nice to meet you. I
Good
just
nice to
wanna
meet
say,
you.
Your Westworld breakdown videos got me through college. So,
Oh, my-
like seriously, I just want to let you know. I've been
You just
watching
gave him
you.
a throwback.
I've been
Dude,
watching
yeah, you just
bro.
you took me back. That was 2016. That was a long
Yes,
time ago.
I know. And I didn't start making videos till like 2021. So yeah, but yeah, I
Shit, it's excellent to meet you. That's a blast from the past. I was not expecting to hear during this, during this live
yeah.
stream. Holy shit!
yeah, so yeah.
That's cool, man. A lot
And
of us
that,
make
my friends, is why content creation is important.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
There it
Yeah.
is.
People have been around a long time, and it's like people bring up, it's like, oh, I don't remember even doing that, or it's just like you don't think about it anymore.
Yeah.
You just move on.
Right,
just doing
yeah.
some shit. So
Also, when you go back and watch your older videos, you're just like, I
Yeah.
turn like 6 shades of crimson. So
Hell,
Yeah,
I still
back
have
then
the
I didn't have
email.
the beard back then. I didn't have I didn't have the beard. Or anything.
yeah, man.
I
Different
still have
days.
the email up from my old channel, and I got a comment on one of those videos recently. I was like, "Fuck!" I had no idea what the hell I was doing when I made these videos.
Yeah. Same thing. I still get comments of people like commenting on like old music reviews I did back in like 2010. I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you watching this?
Right. I was like,
What
"What?"
are you
I
doing?
think it's also count as evergreen content as well, which is good. Even I think in the movie space too. Like I recently did a review for like from the Tribeca Film Festival.
Nice.
And one of the actors, their mother actually commented in the video and follows me and saying like, "No, thank you for reviewing the movie and stuff like that," right? And I'm like, okay, you thinking like years from now, like with movies, you think it's only temporary. Oh, it's only just this down.
do you live here in New York, or are you just here for the festival?
Oh no, it was on. So I went to Tribeca Film Festival, but my team actually with JVS, they actually went in there in Toronto to actually do interviews and stuff like that. They actually did the mentorship program as well. So there was a whole other thing. I'm trying to prepare for that next year, but financially, because I got that CinemaCon in March, April. So, but those things I had to space out though. But
I hit my first CinemaCon last year. I'm thinking might have to go again this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow,
You guys were at CinemaCon. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You
That
guys
was the
were
one
both
that
at
they
CinemaCon.
showed. That was one that they showed the early Flash screening at, right?
Yes.
Last year,
Yeah.
Fall Guys.
Last year was Fall Guy.
2023.
Yeah, Fall
Thor.
Guys, yeah.
Yeah.
now, like
2023,
we got
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
footage of
23,
Michael,
yeah.
like Michael Jackson movie, like and I think it was a Universal.
Yeah, we're in 2025 now.
So, but I don't know this year. I mean, at this point, all studios are going to be there. Yeah, I mean, to me, this is what Comic-Con presentation is supposed to be.
Yeah, wall-to-wall movie stuff. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Comic-Con without all the all the side stuff. It's just 3 days of pure movies. So yeah, I had a fucking blast. Unfortunately, I got sick, but it's Vegas, it's movies, it's a great combo. Yeah, CinemaCon's a blast.
Yeah.
And they have the accommodations actually to handle all that versus Comic-Con where it's so packed and it's so hard to get like reservations for anything or any like it's like insane, and they overprice everything too there. So it's the problem.
Well, Jedi Mike, what's the best way for me to connect with you online so we can stay in touch?
Oh, okay. You can follow me on YouTube, Instagram, IG, all of that at Jedi Mike 7.
All right,
Yes.
I'll follow you on YouTube.
I appreciate it. But yeah, we'll link up. We will link up. But I will say that the food there, I'm gonna tell you, listen, it's a hard road to, when you start out just a small kid in Virginia, and you think you have a dream of aspiring to be, to be a movie critic and stuff. You get to that point and you're thinking, man, how the hell did I get here? And all of a sudden you're in line and you get this delicious tomahawk steak at the Fandango party. And that's when you know you have a taste of a dream.
You're from Virginia?
Yes.
Where are you from Virginia? I was born in Richmond.
Oh, Newport News. Yeah,
Right.
I'm in Virginia right now.
All right, very cool. Yeah, all my family's still back in Richmond. I grew up in North Carolina and in Virginia. We kind of divided my time 50-50 due to a divorce.
Look at that. That's
Same,
crazy.
same, man. Same.
Yeah.
I'm
Crazy.
same exact boat.
Yeah. Me and my wife, we got married back in 2023, and we here in Tysons, Virginia. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I lived in the Fairfax area for a while when I was little.
Yeah, that's where I went to Mason. I went to George Mason.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
All the connections.
I know, right?
Yep.
Look at that.
Hey, you like
That's
Phil
the channel
a few
people in
minutes
North
ago.
Carolina,
That's why this
Virginia
stuff's
right
important.
Yeah,
We need all
I
these
moved. I moved.
Yeah,
on-
me and Johnny live next to each other too. We're neighbors.
Yeah, you guys are so cool. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I moved to North Carolina when I was
Kramer are
3, and then I moved to Michigan here back in 23. So I was there, and I was in the Asheville area, which got hit the hardest by that flood a few months back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because coming back into that area, I was like, wow, they really took.
I have always lived in California.
You're cool, man.
I was born in
Not
St.
really, no.
I'm trying to go back to Cali.
I know.
Cali.
So Phil, you could go to sleep at the pool, wake up, and then you're 87, right? I love that Groucho Marx commercial where they say that LA, like the California area, is the one place where you could just go to sleep, wake up, and then 20 years go by.
I mean,
There's no sense of
pretty much.
seasons.
Draven, I saw you go over out of the way to hit the beep. I saw your hand. You've always said that ain't me, but I literally saw you just like he's talking. I saw you go.
I think it was Johnny though.
Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah, definitely was sound.
He's definitely not texting. He's definitely not texting his woman.
Look at you blaming the Italian.
Yeah,
yeah, that happens.
Also, Jedi Mike, I just followed you on Twitter on 2 accounts, so feel free to DM anytime.
Got you. Yeah. Instagram is more my main content, but I still use Twitter and all that stuff there. But I got you.
Yeah, that's where I sent you the link, man. Yeah.
Fuck Twitter.
I know.
I know. Well, that's why I want to do a lot of these festivals.
Is your handle the same on here, James?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm geeking
Yeah,
with
James.
James Hancock on YouTube. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's how I connected to him through Twitter. That's like I understand Phil's point about Twitter being a cesspool, but like I'm able to connect with people and get them on the show.
And
so
they also, when you apply,
about Twitter now.
Yeah, when you apply to all
follow,
these
by the
press
way.
events, they ask for your Twitter. I mean, as much as everything going
Your
on,
socials,
they
yeah.
ask for it. I mean, because this thing, when in CinemaCon, you don't have, because like we sit in a press section, like in the top left corner, while everybody else is sitting who got the regular tickets. For press, we get in there and we're able to have our laptops or our phones, but we can't have it, use any phones or anything when they're actually showing footage. So the reason why we have our laptops or phones, either for writers to actually typing out articles, but for our phone, we can live tweet what's actually announcements that they're making in real time. So like discussing films is down the road. You have other people there from other outlets and stuff like Variety right here. So it's like, but it's live tweeting at the event. So yeah, it's important to have a Twitter. As much as I don't like it, but yes.
That's what I want to go to South by Southwest. Like, try to do it this year. Like, because I know
You can do it virtual though.
I want to see the accountant too.
That's the reason why I want to go. Like, I always wanted to go to South by Southwest, but like they're doing the premiere there, and I'm like, fuck. Like last year, I think it was Civil War.
The thing is, for you though, that's probably
town.
way too close to
Celebration. Unfortunately, yeah.
When is that happening again?
What?
South by Southwest is March.
Celebration?
And Celebration.
No,
is
I'm in
April.
Celebration.
Celebration is April.
April.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're
Again.
celebrating, but whatever.
Again, unless like
Shut your mouth.
the airfare is cheap and there's a good spot, like unless stuff has to line up pretty well, I would be willing to do either that or one to con beforehand. If not, I'm just gonna wait till April to travel.
It's going to be tight enough as it is if I can save for Comic-Con, but if I can manage anything else this year, I'd be lucky.
Yeah. I'm worried about GalaxyCon Raleigh this year because they just released their next wave of guests, and I'm trying to make that one. I want to see if I can catch one of those passes while they're still on a deal.
I'm giving money to the mouse this Sunday. I'll be going to Disney World.
Going to Disney.
Are you
gonna be there Wednesday night next week? Are you gonna be in Disney or what's no?
I get there Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday might be when we come back.
Oh. I was kind of hoping for like the last time you joined when you were at Disney. You joined the show.
Oh, I will be there. Yeah. I leave the 30th, so the 29th will be at like Universal or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
Might have to just cancel everybody who's scheduled and just have you just jump in and we can just see we just live stream the whole entire event. You being at Disney, man. That's what everyone wants to see. Well now.
Oh yeah, totally.
We'll just do that.
Sure about that?
Universal's better anyway.
Yeah, I want Phil to go to Disney just to do the Mickey voice to everybody.
Yeah,
Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and run into Mickey Mouse and do my Mickey Mouse impression to Mickey Mouse and see what Mickey Mouse.
And I want you to say the word you don't say much with Mickey.
No.
No, you sure?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
It'd be funny though.
No.
Okay.
Your dad told you no. Listen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Either buck up and listen or go sit in the corner for 10 minutes. Take your pick.
Bitch.
Quiet.
Quiet.
Yeah, it just came out of nowhere.
There's those few seconds of dead air, bitch.
It's amazing.
Oh
God,
man,
this
stream is gonna be full of highlights.
Yes, it
Well,
will.
I mean, there's a lot of good discussion that happened in the first 2/3, I would say,
Jesus Christ.
and that kind of went off the rails. But it is what it is.
Oh, I think it's really gone in different directions.
Did you guys talk about the Doctor Strange shit or no?
No.
I don't think that
We
got
talk
brought up yet.
about Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok and his.
I mean,
random
I love the
amazing.
fact that there's a standee you can buy of Count Orlok.
Yeah, that's pretty
What?
funny.
That's where that's where the thumbnail photo came from.
Someone please show me this.
There's
Pull
a
it up,
standee.
please. I
It's
need
the
to see
the
it.
photo in the thumbnail. That's the
Hold on.
standee.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I
I'll
wanted
see
to
if I
The
can
click
find
it.
extended cut of the movie we're gonna get.
It's already out now.
Oh, it's already out.
Yeah, it's available for rental.
Nice.
Now I still haven't found where someone is explaining what the hell is the extended footage. Like I want to know what it is.
I heard it's only like 4 minutes longer. I don't know
Yeah,
if
it's only
that's
4
true or
minutes. But doesn't the physical release get like a full hour and a half more for like a director's cut?
not.
I don't think so. I think it's already confirmed. It's just 4 minutes longer, which is
That's a
dumb.
Crying shame.
I will say though, with the Doctor Strange news, is like I'm not surprised, but if anything, I'm more excited the fact that we actually are saving this character.
Oh, there it is.
for Secret Wars, because it's showing a level of restraint in storytelling of like you're prioritizing other characters that are way more pivotal to be set up, so where you can have the cinematic conclusion with Secret Wars instead of just having everybody in Doomsday and then everybody coming back and plus more on Secret Wars. I think whatever the story is going to be, and I feel they have a clear direction, because obviously there's some change of plans. He said he was going to shoot, but yeah, I know. I have faith that they have a clear direction in terms of the story.
I need that in my life. I need that Count Orlok thing in my life. Oh my god, that's amazing.
You want the thing staring at you while you pegging Johnny?
I think to Mike's point, I'm gonna agree there, but I'm also just gonna throw this out as well. I cannot for the life of me remember. Ronan, you might remember. Mike, you might even too. Do either one of you remember which one of the returning writers from Infinity War and Endgame is handling Doomsday and Secret Wars? Is it Marcus or McFeely?
I think it's just Marcus.
I think Marcus and then McFeely for Secret Wars.
I thought they only said that only one of them was coming back to do
Only one.
both.
It is only one, and I'm pretty sure it's Marcus.
Okay, so what I think happened is when Michael Waldron was doing both, and then they passed it off to Jeff Loveness, and when the movie was still Kang Dynasty, I think Doctor Strange was meant to have a pivotal part. And then once everything changed to Doomsday, I think Marcus, the Russo brothers, probably looked at it and went, well, what if we do something different? Ultimately, I think what happened is something changed, and they either retrofitted Strange role to someone else or they cut it out entirely.
Okay, I just looked it up. It's actually McFeely.
It is McFeely? Okay.
I believe Loveness is not part of the equation because he cannot write his
Oh,
way.
100%. No.
Yes.
As soon as Quantum Mania took the doo-doo, his name was off that movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which and honestly, when the Russos were announced as directors of those two movies, I immediately thought, okay, then Michael Waldron's script is probably going to get rewritten.
Yeah. And when they were announced to be back writing these two, I was like, you know what? I get it. Like it's safe. Like it's known talent, because for a while I was like, okay, are they going to go with new talent? But no, they're bringing back the ones that have been done before. But at the same time, they've done it before, so we know that they work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I bet moving forward after Secret Wars, they're going to get another person or something to do the next Avengers down the road, or
the franchise
whatever.
is going to go in a new direction.
Honestly,
yeah.
I've been thinking about this for a while, and when it was announced that the Russo brothers were coming back and doing both, I was like, really thinking about, really think about it. No one else was going to be able to tackle those two movies. They even said as far back as Infinity War, like, yeah, our whale is Secret Wars, and it's like, okay, well, at that
they have the
point,
best resume to do it.
And honestly, at that point, like,
I got my trade paperback right here. The entire
there it
trilogy.
is. Boom, there you go.
Yep.
And it's like,
I like the Hickman version as well.
I actually have that on my computer. I'm going to read it before the films come, but I still have time, right? Yeah. But like, that story is their whale. They've whenever it's been brought up, they're like, would you ever do something else in Marvel? And they've always said Secret Wars. Yep. And in the back of my mind, I've always just been like, they're not going to get anyone else to do that movie. It's going to be the Russo brothers.
Yep.
100%. And when it was announced that it was them, I was like, oh, cool. The rumors are true. And then they brought out Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. I was like, oh, that's a brilliant move in and of itself. And everyone had a bitch
I'm old enough where my friends and I in our carpool to school used to talk about the issues of Secret Wars as they were coming out in real time.
Oh, wow.
Like, oh my God, did you see it? And we were losing our goddamn minds. It was a hell of a time to be a young Marvel fan.
Yeah,
like the first Secret Wars, right? From 1984.
Yeah, I'm 48 years old. I'm old as dog shit. But yeah,
you don't look 48.
You don't look 48, man.
You look good for 48.
Thank you, sir. But yeah, but as a little kid, Secret Wars was just it was like the Super Bowl and like the World Series every goddamn month. It was incredible.
The Discord after that panel was like everywhere I was going. Like I was passing like restaurants and bars, and I could hear them either talking about FF or the Downey thing, and I was like, wait, what the fuck does this mean? And I remember just like the online stuff was just blowing up for hours.
Yeah, that Fantastic Four, like I don't believe they're ever going to drop that footage. Yes, it's leaked online, whatever, but like
they're never going to officially release that.
Yeah, but that concept footage, like I was watching that, I was like, I'm eating all of this up, which is why I hope that either we're going to get this in a couple of weeks, or I guess next month in the Super Bowl, possibly. But like, if they actually show more footage for Fantastic Four, probably because listen, the cast was announced in Valentine's Day. It's coming up, and I'm just like, hey, I just
perfect timing. Yep.
Marvel Rivals has a season, Fantastic Four right now. Yep. So come on. I
want to hear more of Giacchino's music, man. I want to hear what else, because beforehand, and I think I told someone before that Giacchino was announced that like, when I would read FF books, I listened to the Incredibles soundtrack. That was the soundtrack to like go to. So like it was apropos that like
he becomes the composer for it. Yeah. I mean, when I think of Fantastic Four, like I just get so warm inside because I have like kind of an affinity for that for that family, that Marvel first family, and I really just like Reed Richards a lot. I think Reed Richards is like one of the most underrated characters in Marvel.
It's also got like 3 really good periods where you got the 60s with Lee and Kirby, in the 80s you got Byrne, and then you got the Hickman run, and it's like you can pick and choose from all 3 of those eras, and it's just an incredibly fertile territory for great storytelling. I just hope that they just embrace the best qualities of all those different eras when Fantastic Four was really firing on all cylinders.
I'll throw you a bone. How about Dan Slott's Fantastic Four?
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure they're gonna use some of Slott's run.
Yeah, like I am very like hit miss love hate with Dan Slott, but his Fantastic Four book, I was like, okay, you fucking got me, Slott. This is actually really good.
Yeah, he and I disagree on a lot of things, but Fantastic Four is not one of them.
Oh man, like his Amazing Spider-Man stuff, I was so hit miss on. Like Ends of the Earth was fine, but Amazing Spider-Man 700 was like some of the corniest shit I've ever read in a Spider-Man comic.
Oh.
I will be the superior Spider-Man. I was like, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
So betting on if we'll see the Council
Never
of
hated on
Reeds.
Octavius more.
Yes.
Council of Reeds.
Council of Reeds.
Yes.
And Secret Wars.
Yeah,
Bro. Yeah.
That's gotta happen.
Including Miles Teller, right? Miles has to.
Yes, including him.
If you're gonna do all of them, you
no. Ian Gruffin.
Ian Gruffin.
For
Well,
sure.
I think all of them.
All
All of them. All of them. That's what he's saying. All of
So
them.
John Krasinski? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wouldn't
I think
even
John
hate
will be
that.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I wouldn't hate it.
Probably.
Even they brought back even the Roger Corman one. Like I'm like, yeah, like, hey, come back, man. Like, just do this. If we're gonna
Roger
do
Corman, the actor
What the
from
hell
the
was
Roger
his
Corman,
name?
that would be a deep pull.
What the hell was his name?
I don't know, but I was gonna say that like just based off of Spider-Man No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, and to a lesser extent Quantumania, the fucking groundwork for the Council of Reeds is there. If
Right
it's
there.
not in this movie, I would be surprised. I'm hoping it is, because apparently there was a photo going around of Pedro Pascal at a bar once they were out shooting, and someone's face was like covered in
like
emoji.
yeah.
Allegedly, it was Ian Gruffin, and I'm like, if you fucking do the Council of Reeds, I will change my pants in the theater.
Wait, I thought everyone thought it
That
was
thing with the
Robert.
Roger Corman angle too. It's not like they haven't pulled from movies that either didn't happen or were shelved, because they just did it in fucking Deadpool and Wolverine with Channing Tatum, so they could do it again with Council
Which
of
version of
Reeds.
Secret Wars? Are we talking? I think the '80s version. I think
They're
it's
gonna
gonna
be
be
a
a
mix.
mix.
The beautiful
It's gonna
thing
be
is,
it's going to be an
Doom
Alabama
is
Bowl.
the villain in both arcs. So I imagine they, because of their age, they will probably pull from the Jim Shooter. But there's a ton of good shit in the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars. So there's my advice to them would be take the best ingredients from
Amalgam.
both stories.
It's what Infinity War did.
Here's
I
what
want to
think's
see the
gonna happen.
Beyonder, man. I want to see the Beyonder.
Here's what I think's going to happen. Like
Doom
why
versus
else-
the Beyonder. Bring it on.
Why else would you cast Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom if not to have Secret Wars open up with, wait for it, a fucking battle world headed by God Emperor Doom?
Totally.
100%.
And you're literally having the guy who started the MCU be the one to reset everything.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, and he killed
That's
Thanos
exactly
in the
it.
first 5 minutes.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Josh
He
Brolin
ripped-
is going to
yeah.
be like, oh, you want me to come in for 5 minutes just to have my spine ripped out? I'm game.
Right. And
by Robert. So it'd be like he's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Such a great panel. What's crazy, I've always said that Captain America, Fantastic Four, and Superman are always tough formulas to crack because there's a certain like wholesomeness or nobility to those characters. It's crazy that we're getting iterations of all three of those in the same goddamn year just by some cosmic coincidence. But
yeah,
it's like the return of the wholesome superhero year.
Like I wish both Jack and his wife were still with us to watch that movie. Like I wish they were still here to be like, all right, the FF are with the MCU, and now the possibilities of interconnectivity is endless. Like the fact that they fucking put the old school comic Fantastic Four car and Deadpool as a background thing that like somebody was writing. I was just like,
that was cool.
They're nerds.
Yeah,
Honestly,
and this first 100 issues still hold up. Stanley and Jack Kirby, all the stuff with Galactus, all the stuff with the Inhumans, all the stuff with Black Panther.
Black
It's just-
Panther
it was just-
especially, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a hell of a time. Those guys, they were just, they were making magic together.
Yeah.
That's Ronan feels the way about Kirby as I do about Lee. If there's one thing I wish Stan Lee could have seen in his lifetime, it should have been a fucking great Fantastic Four movie. And I'm like, I hope to God there's like a nice tribute to both of them in this movie, and there should be.
And their wives, because even Miss Lee, who was like,
100%.
fucking do it. Do the FF. Yeah.
He got to see that late 60s cartoon they did, which has its moments. So
That's fair.
Right, exactly.
Yes, he did.
It's a fair point. Fair point.
Yeah. Recast T'Challa, by the way. I'm sorry. I got to keep saying it. I got to keep saying it. You know,
It's not going to be a recast.
Is that you,
dude.
Chillmonger?
It's not going to be a recast.
I'm
Damn.
What?
We were
What
talking
is
about it
that?
on a different stream. Like, hey, what if? Because all this talk about of
Shots
another
fired.
actor being like T'Challa and everything. What if? Interesting. It might be another appearance in a cameo appearance, whatever, in Fantastic Four, which is also in another universe. Because his
there's
first
that.
appearance,
And then there's also Toussaint, aka T'Challa II from Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. They could pull a version of him out of time and have him be Okay, shake your head all you want, bro. It's probably going to happen. They wouldn't throw that in a post-credit scene if they weren't going to pay it off.
Whoa.
Now, how wild would it be if they had that?
I'm speaking on behalf of us, of black people. No, they don't want that. They don't want that.
How wild would it be if they had
They
that?
don't want that. I'm telling you, they do not want that.
Happen.
What? All right. Huh? Jake just talks over like.
I like how Jamie just like I don't know what the fuck's going on. What?
Yeah,
It's like maybe excuse my brain is full. Yeah.
all I heard is scorn, and then Mike's talking in the background, so I don't. Now, one of you talk, and then the other one go after that.
You don't run this shit.
Okay, talk over each other.
Yeah, talk over to go.
One at a time.
I think Jedi
Mike go, Mike talk, and then Jake just start interrupting like
I'm
you
just
usually
saying. I'm just saying, behalf of terms of the zeitgeist of the commentary of Black Panther, we want the child of Black Panther back.
Scorn. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I get that, but at the same time, it's like I think you can have the best of both worlds. You could probably maybe get a variant in Fantastic Four, but like the primetime MCU timeline, it's probably going to be his son.
No, they're gonna do what they did in the CW Crisis on Infinite Earths. After Secret Wars, they're gonna merge it with a new actor.
Probably.
And say, oh yeah, he always been here. And then we go into Black Panther 3 with Denzel Washington, whatever role he's playing, and then we go from there. Yes, that's what's gonna happen.
Oh, look who decided to show up. Interesting.
Wow. Hey man, hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that is a cliffhanger.
I want to
right
see
there.
Kang get killed by Doctor Doom and Doomsday. Okay. As much as that would be satisfying, I'm sure, for a lot of people, I highly doubt Kang is going to make a reappearance after Loki season 2.
Oh man, if that'd be what the fuck?
There is a variant, like, because we couldn't really see that end of Quantumania very clearly. It's going to be a non-Jonathan Majors variant if it does happen.
Quite possible.
I doubt it even will.
Yeah, I think it's just done.
Yeah. They wrapped it up in Loki season 2 in a pretty finite way. That means you don't need to revisit.
Well, also they had a little device or the chair that Kang was sitting in Quantumania was also in Marvel's What If, and Captain Carter came out of it, so they probably dealt with him. Based on the writing, they probably killed his ass. But it's what it is. They can do anything.
Of course they can. They're Marvel. They can get away with whatever the fuck they want.
Yes.
Right.
We're Marvel. We can do whatever we want.
It's Marvel, baby.
It's cinema.
Well, according to some, it's also theme parks.
Well,
yeah.
Theme parks.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I see it both ways.
No, I get it.
It's
yes.
Wide expansions.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sorry. That just really bummed me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Don't let it. Don't. It's fine, man. Like, it is what it is. Things shake out when they shake out. They shake out the way they're supposed to shake out. If and when Gore wants to fucking reach out, that's on him. If not,
well, if that's his way of reaching out, that's kind of shit.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, that's
but
shit.
It's like, again,
shit.
Everyone has their own way of doing shit, and sometimes you got to learn one way, sometimes you got to learn another way. And I say this having from very recent experience with somebody else. Like, come on.
Fair. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, I'm curious if there's anything about that.
I will let you know after the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, James. There's
I'm reading between the lines.
I'm just gonna say it because he decided to comment. It's high school bullshit. That's what it is. It's high school bullshit.
That's
what
YouTube. Between YouTube creators, there's rivalries, there's alliances, and it's like soap operas.
This is a whole fucking
break up
story.
and get back together.
This is a whole thing.
I don't even know if this fits those categories.
No, this is just. I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah. You're probably still watching. That is not cool that you had to comment that because you're basically attacking the whole entire show. Maybe you should actually reach out or something instead of commenting that kind of crap because that is pathetic and sad. And I said I was going to call you out, and I'm sorry. James is here, first time being here. Sorry, man, but that is just sad because you're not just attacking me as an individual who's hosting the fucking show, but you're attacking everybody here and who are regulars who support the show, and you're deciding to act this way and cut everybody out. That's not cool. We're here for you. We love you, but you're making it really hard to continue, and you're kind of stepping the sidelines if you decide to show up and do that. That's not cool. That's not fair. And I'm not trying to speak for everybody here, but a lot of us have pretty much said the same stuff, that we're really upset about this whole situation. And it's not cool. I understand you have a problem with somebody who's on the show right now, and that's probably why you commented, but it's also affecting and hurting everybody else. We care about you. We want you here, but you're choosing to step away. We reached out. You decide to ignore. So if you're in a bad spot, I get it, but damn, man, this is fucked up. We're here. And we're not saying, hey, you have to talk to us, but dude, you're cutting us off. Like you don't even care. I thought we were all friends. We all are, but you decided to step away.
That. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for a year. And we let you step away before, and you came back and we didn't hardly address it. But now this whole situation got worse because there was a fight on stream and you left and said you weren't part of the crew. And you put in quotes, dude, if we didn't care about you, you wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't invite you each week. We wouldn't have hung out on Discord calls and had fun and talk about shit. But now you're pushing everybody away. That's not cool, man. It's not. And if you're not watching anymore, then I'm speaking into dead air. But it's being aired out. So that's it. I'm done. That's my piece. Sorry. Didn't mean to go on a rant, but it had to be said. I'm sorry. It had to be said.
You gave a warning.
Yeah. It's pretty sad. So,
Wait,
once
I
again,
got back.
So,
What I
missed. So again, James, I apologize.
I'm loving it. No, I'm enjoying the drama. So I'm just passive observer.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
I catch the replay.
Yeah,
dude, go back. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Like 2 minutes, yeah.
2 minutes? Oh, great.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah, so sorry that I had to derail the show, but I mean, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Hey, it's high drama. It is the show. So
this is true. Council is crazy. You don't know what the hell's gonna happen. I mean, we had John Campia show up like months ago in like the freaking chat, giving us super chats at one point, just because he discovered we were live because we're talking about The Rock at the time. Got that whole drama where he was peeing in bottles and shit on set. We were talking about The Rock, and he's like, showed up. He's like, well, Rock always does. Like, it was just like, oh, it's weird.
We got Smashing Machine coming out sometime this year. I'm looking forward.
Oh yeah, like he actually does. He looks kind of like The Rock, but they gave him some makeup to look a little different. Like
he's too old for the part. I mean, I used to watch Mark Kerr back in the day in real time. The age is wrong, but he's got the right build.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Hey, how about that Dwayne Johnson monster truck movie that everybody's going to go see when it comes out?
Nope.
No.
Hell, I used to watch Monster Jams back in the day, too. I loved the hell out of them, but I could not give a rat's ass about this movie.
Exactly. Yeah, not excited for it at all. No. Yeah.
Nah.
No.
I bet he's going to, once again, play himself again.
Right. It'll probably be that, yeah.
With monster trucks.
Right. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's that same thing where that movie with George Clooney and Brad Pitt that just came out. Wolves. Yeah. Their characters were not named the entire movie. I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled something like that with this. Because it's The Rock and he's just got that image.
Wow, they really tried to just like Christopher Nolan tenet that shit, didn't they?
You can say that, yeah. And it was made by fucking John Watts of all people. So
yeah. And Apple had a whole theatrical campaign planned, and then they said, you know what, fuck it. And they just decided not to do it.
Right. And then like because they were gonna be planning a sequel of it in their own right, but then he just said no.
Yeah. I think if the F1 movie this summer doesn't work out, Apple's not making any more movies. They'll just focus on shows.
I think the hope is that it's like somewhat on the realm of like Top Gun Maverick, the same director, and that, I mean, the footage they have shown of F1 looks good.
I think what Apple's learning is that making movies is fucking hard. Even if you have all the money in the world, you can't force feed people hit movies.
Yeah.
Movies are like restaurants. Everybody feels like they can run one. Then you get in there like, oh shit, this is really fucking challenging. Making great movies is a huge challenge, and it doesn't matter how many resources you have. But yeah, Apple, they're not that good at making movies.
And if you don't have the right idea from the get-go, it's going to fall apart.
True, but at the same time, it's like
yeah.
their revenue stream from everything else justifies the fact they can blow nearly $200 to $300 million on a movie, which is insane to think about.
Because they're making billions left and right.
Right, because you've got studios like Disney and Warner Brothers and fucking Paramount and Netflix to a lesser extent. And it was another one. I miss Sony. Like they're all fucking struggling to even just make a bit of a profit off of anything because of streaming and stuff like that. It's such a
although
fucking
Paramount
pain in the
got a
ass.
cash infusion. David Ellison, son of Larry Ellison, just took over the company by merging Skydance with Paramount.
Skydance, yep.
They're going to have more money at in their fingertips. Paramount might be poised to pop, or who knows? They could pop and deflate. You never know. I mean, once again, the movie business is fascinating because it's high risk, high reward, and people are constantly falling on their face.
It's true, especially in today's climate.
Yeah.
And there's some part of me that's kind of wishing, like, not every genre has to do this, but if we could go back to, those times where you made movies where like it was low budget, but you had the right idea, and then that way it was low budget. That way you had a lot more of a chance of earning your money back. So like that way if people didn't go and see it, like there was less of a chance of it being a bomb if it was made on less money because you didn't have to earn as much.
And they're made for the domestic market instead of the international market. Right. If you're making movies for the international market, you immediately make it a little more bland and generic. Whereas like comedies were made for the domestic market. They're hard to market internationally, but
they appeal to wider audiences at the same time. So
yeah, you can make a good comedy for a couple of million and it might gross 100. I mean, I was a movie going freak in the 90s when we got a shitload of really raunchy comedies and I miss them.
Yeah, and the ones that they're releasing today, like they're releasing straight to Netflix, so they're not able to earn nearly as much back.
And they're like fake raunchy. They pretend to be raunchy, but they're not really raunchy. Like for me to be a real raunchy comedy, you have to have no socially redeeming value of any kind. It needs to be like morally irresponsible. It needs to be totally depraved. And there's always like a little something wholesome about it. Like, well, you're ruining it. You got to go all in.
Yeah. Is that how you felt about that Jennifer Lawrence one?
I walked out of it. After the nude scene, but I walked out of it. I was like, I saw the nude scene, but it was a little message heavy. I was like, that's not a raunchy comedy if there's messages.
Right.
Fair. Yeah. That's fair.
And like we were saying before, I can't remember who brought it up, but if you're going to go into one of those aspects, lean into it.
Yeah. Like don't. It's for me. I feel like a movie is a little bit like making a soup or a great burger. Like all the ingredients have to work, and if you throw in one ingredient that doesn't match the rest, it kind of throws everything off. And same thing happened with No Hard Feelings. Mm-hmm. But I did like seeing her buck ass naked. I wasn't complaining.
Shit.
Captain, my captain.
Yeah, literally. I see some people yawning. I think we should wrap it up, boys. I got
guys. It's been a pleasure and a privilege. Anytime y'all want to shoot the shit about any topic on my channel or yours,
of course,
I'm always ready to throw down.
Right on, man.
So,
we're gonna go down the line so we can find everybody. James, where everybody can find you.
YouTube channel Geeking with James Hancock, Twitter at Colbraxters. Look at my name. Some Blu-rays coming up from Deaf Crocodile, which have my commentary on them, and a future animated movie from director Bill Plimpton called Slide, where I'm an executive producer. So a lot of stuff cooking in the oven.
Awesome, man. Cool.
And shout out to Jedi Mike for giving me a shout out about my old school Westworld videos from 1,000 years ago. That warmed my heart.
Ronan, where people find you, sir?
You can find me at Ronan Unchained on YouTube, on all the socials. I got Sakamoto Days coverage, Invincible coverage. It's coming down the line.
Oh, shit.
Daredevil, The Last of Us, Andor. And then I might be dropping a couple of comic reviews down the line. There's a couple of books that I'm reading that I'm like, I might want to do a little bit of coverage for this. I think I like these books that deserve more of an audience.
Perfect. Draven.
I'm going to be doing a reaction to Nosferatu, I think, here soon. But then I got Daredevil. I just watched all the Daredevil seasons, so it's good shit. I'm excited for Born Again, so.
Hell yeah, man. Next. Gianni.
I don't know, man. Music streams.
Shit.
I don't know, man. On Twitch, movie stuff on YouTube. I got my top 10 movies of the year coming out soon, and Bravo Awards, and Brain Rot.
All the brain rot.
All the brain rot you need.
Phil. On his phone.
Moo fucker. Quit looking at porn.
Yeah, get off Grindr.
Moo fucker. Moo fucker.
Anyway, if anyone wants to fuck around and find out, unfiltered, that's YouTube, Instagram, Vero, Blue Sky, and Threads.
Twitter.
Fuck Twitter. Fuck Elon Musk. He's a fucking Nazi. Anyone wants to hang out with me? Friday Phil every single Friday.
Unfiltered, folks.
Show. That's right. Every Friday Phil. You can catch me on the Vodka stream most Friday nights as well after my show. You can catch me here on the Council Creators. You can also catch me on Party Nation every Tuesday night. You can also read my shit at Multiverse of Color. That's pretty much it. That's where I'm at these days.
Hell yeah.
Fuck you, Elon.
Damn it. Oh, that was funny. You can find me here. Mute this kid.
I muted him.
Don't
worry.
You can find me here at Jake on YouTube. We do Let's Plays. We're doing Jack and Daxter right now. We're doing retro reviews. Next one is X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse. We just did our Green Lantern game designs ranking. Other than YouTube, you can find me on Blue Sky, on Twitter sometimes, on Comicful, not Instagram. And then me and the Pasta King over at Crystal Star Studio just started our Iron Man run. So
that wasn't even me.
I know who it was. You can find that on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's been all sorts of chaos already. Yeah, the same show as Phil mentioned. You can find me on Party Nation occasionally. And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at.
And Jedi Mike.
Sorry, I gotta put the wave check here. Okay. Anyway, yeah, you can find me.
Damn, boy, it's a very sexy,
You're looking like a snack.
Where can we find you, sir?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all stuff at Jedi Mike 7. Brought to you by Sowell Media. That's my outlet and everything. You also see me on Multiverse of Color, Team JVS. Also writing material. I'll be writing also on Multiverse of Color as well. But yeah, you can follow me everywhere at Jedi Mike 7. Yeah, interviews coming soon. I got a ton of interviews dropping this month. So yeah.
Want to shout out and thank everybody who came on for the first time on Council tonight. It was crazy. We had a bunch of new people. It was great having everybody on. And yeah, we'll see. We have some new people next week as well. That was episode 72. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.